Welcome to Only Talk Sports, and today we're having the reaction to the Arkansas game between Illinois. It should be a fantastic game. I'm definitely looking forward to last night. As you saw on screen, we had a fantastic game between Arizona State and Nevada. It wasn't a close game, but still, it had a lot of high-flying action. But this game has a lot of NBA talent between the two teams. You have the Illinois Fighting Illini, and you have the Arkansas Razorbacks in the 8-9 game. This game right here has the potential to showcase a lot of NBA talent and could be a barn burner that goes down to the wire. I'm really looking forward to this game, and I'm hoping you guys are as well. This should be a fantastic game. I like both these teams a lot. They have talent. Arkansas, obviously, you have Anthony Black and you have Nick Smith, who are both going to be top 10 to 15 draft picks in the NBA this season. But on Illinois, you have Terrence Shannon and Matthew Mayer, two players that could be second-round draft picks. You never know. But they're really solid players. And I think that if they both have big games for the Fighting Illini, then they could get this win. And both Brad Underwood and you also have Eric Musselman, two really solid coaches. I think a lot more people probably know Eric Musselman if you're not a college basketball fan per se, but you probably know about him in the past. He was in the NBA as a head coach, and he had a great run at Nevada with the Martin brothers, but then he came to Arkansas, and he's really turned the Razorbacks program around. Arkansas is a much better team now than they were before he became the head coach. In Illinois, they've had some ups and downs with Brad Underwood as head coach. He had a good run at Stephen F. Austin back in the earlier 2010s, and he had one season at Oklahoma State. But since he's been at Illinois, the Fighting Illini have actually been a team that's been in the upper half of the Big Ten most years. And if you look at Illinois this season, they didn't have maybe the season that a lot of Illinois fans were hoping for. A lot of people thought Illinois could potentially win the Big Ten. Purdue ended up winning that easily. But still, overall, I think Illinois had a solid season this year. And I think that if they play really well in this game and play at their highest potential like they did showcase at times in the Big Ten this season, then I think Illinois could be a team that could get an upset over Arkansas. And even Arkansas, they underperformed this season as well, but their problems more due to injury. Trevon Brazile missed the whole entire season. That was tough for Arkansas because of the fact he's a really good player, and he transferred him from Missouri, but he could not play most at all this season because of the fact that he tore his ACL earlier on in the year. But then you look at Nick Smith, who is back for Arkansas and is a big reason why they started to play better basketball. Nick Smith, he averaged 14 points a game this year when he played, but he missed 19 games. But he's a great freshman, 6'5", 185 pounds. And overall, he's a type player that, when healthy, is definitely showcasing why he could potentially be a top 5 pick in this year's NBA draft. Anthony Black as well, a 6'7" point guard that runs the show. He could be a top 10, 15 pick as well. But there's talent on both sides of the ball, and the game has just tipped. And Illinois has the ball first. The Fighting Illini had a good season at 20-12, 11-9 in the Big Ten. Maybe it's not as good of a season, again, as a lot of Illini fans were hoping for, but still solid overall. And Dane just blocked down low. That's a really good play for Arkansas. Anthony Black already showcasing his skill. He gets in the lane. He does not knock the shot down. But Arkansas with the offensive rebound, they're such a tall team and they can get a lot of rebounds. But the talent is already on display for sure. Two really good defensive plays by both teams. Nick Smith's driving for Arkansas. He misses a floater. But R.J. Melendez with the rebound for Illinois, and the Fighting Illini are bringing the ball back up the floor. Illinois has been in 3 straight NCAA tournaments, which goes to show the improvement that Brad Underwood has done for the program. Coleman Hawkins down low with the right jump hook for Illinois. That's a good sign. He's had some struggles this year, and he didn't break out like a lot of Illinois fans were expecting him to do this year, but he's still playing solid this year. In Arkansas, they're in their 3rd straight NCAA tournament as well, and they went to the Elite Eight the last 2 seasons, so Eric Musselman has done a fantastic job as well. But again, both teams had maybe a down year compared to what they were expecting, but I do think that both teams are still playing really good basketball for sure. And you can see it in this game already so far, the talent that's on both sides of the ball. Arkansas to inbound Anthony Black. The Razorbacks are moving the ball at the top of the key. Anthony Black's got the ball back, and he shoots a tough 2. Probably not a very good shot. He does struggle from the outside. That's one of his weaknesses. He's not the best shooter in the world, but he is a really good decision maker. But maybe should not shot that one. Dane Danger for the Illini on the block. He passes out to Melendez. He misses a 3. What a save by Illinois, but it goes back to Arkansas. Nick Smith driving it. What a reverse. He misses it. But what a reverse play. He almost did a really good reverse layup. That would have been a fantastic play for Arkansas, but he missed it. So a break for Illinois. It's still 2-0 Illinois. Brad Underwood's been at Illinois for 6 seasons, and he's had the Illini with 4 straight 20-win seasons. Definitely shows the improvement. That was a really athletic play by Nick Smith. He just did not knock it down. You can tell he really wanted that one to go. But Arkansas has the ball back. They're 0-5 from the field to start this game. Anthony Black, he tried to do a floater, but he got blocked. What a rejection by Dane Danger. Dane Danger's had a good season for Illinois. He's the transfer from Baylor, and he's definitely improved as the season's gone along. He's averaging about 10 points per game. And Arkansas, they miss another jump shot. So Illinois is definitely getting Arkansas to take shots that the Razorbacks probably don't want to take, but they're leaving them wide open, and it's paying off for Illinois so far. Terrence Shannon, the Texas Tech transfer, tried to drive in the lane. He turns it over. Devontae Davis for Arkansas with a tough floater. It's 2-2. He's a player that a lot of people have forgotten about because he's been at Arkansas for a couple years. He's been overshadowed a bit by the 5-star freshman for Arkansas, but Devontae Davis still a really solid player. Illinois turns the basketball over. The ball went off Matthew Mayer, the Baylor transfer's foot. So Arkansas with the ball. So it's 2-2 with 17:33 left in the first half. Arkansas to inbound. Anthony Black. He's having to crouch down. He's so tall for the point guard position, especially going up against Terrence Shannon for Illinois on defense. But he is a really solid player. Nick Smith, what a pass. Anthony Black at the top of the key, drives in for Arkansas. He knocks down a 2. So it's 4-2 Arkansas. Finally, Anthony Black got a shot to fall. That might be a good sign for his confidence. Arkansas has hit their last 2 shots. Illinois swinging the ball around at the top of the key. Matthew Mayer gets it to Coleman Hawkins. Dane Danger's on the left block, and he gets it to Mayer for a 3, and Matthew Mayer misses a 3 for Illinois. He can get hot in a hurry, though. He's a really good shooter, but not that time. It didn't work out for him. Anthony Black scoping for Arkansas. He kicks it back out to Devontae Davis. Ricky Council has the ball. He swings it to Nick Smith. And it's back to Anthony Black. There's only 7 seconds on the shot clock for Arkansas. They're going to have to go. Devontae Davis is driving in. And what a finish for Devontae Davis. 6-2 Arkansas. The smooth lefty finish. Illinois let him get all the way to the hoop. So a 6-0 run for Arkansas in the last minute 25 after they had an 0-for-7 start to the game from the field. Illinois takes a tough 2, and R.J. Melendez cannot knock it down. Arkansas is moving it down the floor. Ricky Council, the Wichita State transfer, in the lane, and he misses a shot, but they do call a foul. So he will be going to the free throw line. That was a really good finish for Arkansas. Devontae Davis with a tough lefty finish. Now Arkansas has 2 free throws. Ricky Council's been the leading scorer for Arkansas this season, averaging 16 points per game. And he transferred from Wichita State. And a lot of people are surprised to see that he's the leading scorer because you have Anthony Black and Nick Smith to get so much attention. And they deserve the attention because they're really good players. But still, Ricky Council's definitely been a key guy for Arkansas, especially when Nick Smith was injured. He had to carry a lot of the scoring load. And he did a really good job with that this season. And he knocks down the first free throw, so it's 7-2, Razorbacks. Now it's 8-2. So Arkansas hits both free throws. Illinois, after starting out 2-0, they've given Arkansas an 8-0 run. So how is the Illini going to respond? Jay Nepps, who's been a really good freshman for Illinois after Sky Clark left the program, but he got blocked, and Arkansas is moving it down the floor. Devontae Davis probing again in the paint. And he misses a floater that time, but it's knocked back out. Nick Smith to Ricky Council for 3. Ricky Council misses the shot. Illinois got the rebound. and they're moving it down the floor. Coleman Hawkins is on the right block trying to drive in. He kicks it to Jay Neps. And you've got Terrence Shannon in the corner, and he bricks the three. Terrence Shannon bricks the three. He's a pretty solid three-point shooter. He's a bit streaky, though, but he just bricked the three. Brad Underwood is not happy. So it's 8-2 Arkansas at the first TV timeout. So a lot of high-flying action so far. Definitely Illinois trying to settle into this game. The March Madness is already delivering so far. It is fantastic to see this season of March Madness begin. It's everybody's favorite time of year in basketball. Some people only watch basketball during March Madness, which I don't blame them because March Madness is awesome, but still you have great games during the regular season. But if you look at March Madness this year, you've already had big upsets. You look at Furman beating Virginia. Now, a lot of people did expect Furman to beat Virginia. There was actually a lot of people that thought that would happen because Virginia's offense could get cold, and you did see the Cavaliers in the second half of that game have a big scoring drought, and Furman hit a big three with 2 seconds to go. The Furman Paladins, who had not been in the NCAA tournament since 1980 and were denied the NCAA tournament last year when Chattanooga hit a buzzer-beating three in the SoCon tournament last year. But Furman this year getting to make the tournament, getting to play Virginia, and you have your first big upset, the 4-13 game, and the Virginia Cavaliers go down. That was a fantastic game. Virginia almost hit a half-court three of their own, though. It was very close, but unfortunately for the Cavaliers, the three-point shot fell short, and they lost the game. But a great win for Furman. You always expect there's going to be one upset, one big one, and there could be more. I mean, it's all early in day one of the round of 64, and there could be a lot more upsets to come. But you always usually have a 4-13 upset. I don't think there was one last year, but this year you've got Virginia going down. That's insane. And then you also had a fantastic game between West Virginia and Maryland. That was a game that went wire to wire, but Maryland pulled out the win over West Virginia. But so far in our game here, we've got an 8-2 lead for Arkansas over Illinois in the first half. And Brad Underwood is not happy with the way the Illini are playing right now. He probably feels they're taking bad shots. And it's one of those things when you're losing a game, you're struggling, and you're in the NCAA tournament, you want to take the best shots possible. And if the threes aren't falling, you want to find a way to get in rhythm and be able to settle the game down. But you look at Illinois right now, they're a little sped up and they're trying to shoot their way out of a hole. And right now they're not hitting any shots. So Arkansas will definitely be content with Illinois taking more threes, especially if they're not hitting them. And I'm sure Brad Underwood will get his team settled down. But Arkansas, they were starting out slow themselves. They were 0-7 from the field, but they've been starting to hit some shots now, and the talent's starting to show themselves. But Illinois with the basketball, down 8-2. Terrence Shannon kicking out to Coleman Hawkins, and he swings it to Jay Neps. And Coleman Hawkins shoots a three, and he misses. It almost went in, but it falls off the rim. And it is Arkansas basketball. So again, right now, Illinois cannot make a shot at this point. So Arkansas with the 8-2 lead. Devontae Davis bringing the ball up the floor. He's had a nice start to this game with a couple buckets. He has 4 points. And Devontae Davis, he lost the ball, but he got it back. He swings it to Nick Smith. He has not hit a shot yet, but he's a really talented player. Anthony Black swings it back to Devontae Davis. And Nick Smith driving in. He tries to shoot it. It looked like he kind of got lost, and he tried to pass, actually, and he turned it over. That was definitely a freshman mistake. I'm sure Eric Musselman will not be happy with that. He tried to do a tough floater, but then he changed his mind because it was a tough shot, and he tried to pass, but he threw it away. So Illinois catches a break, but they only have 2 points in the first 5.5 minutes of this game. Illinois is going to have to find a way to get some points. They have not scored in almost 5 minutes. So they're lucky to only be down 8-2. Matthew Mayer in the corner, and he misses a three. Coleman Hawkins with the board, though. He gets the ball back. Luke Goody in the corner, who's been inserted in the game. And Luke Goody hits a three. That's a big shot for Illinois. That's definitely what Luke Goody's in the game to do, is to shoot threes, and he gets a wide open look. He's averaging around 3 points a game this year, but a really good shot. and Coleman Hawkins gets fouled when Illinois stole the ball. So Illinois is getting a little bit of momentum here. We've got an 8-5 ball game so far. Arkansas up 3, 13:59 left in the first, but Illinois starting to get things figured out a bit. They just hit a big three. They stole the ball and got fouled. I think they did call the foul on the floor. So Illinois has no free throws. They're going to have to inbound the basketball. And Amber's here. Hello. Thanks for being here, Amber. We got a big game on tap. It's an 8-5 lead right now for Arkansas, but thanks for being here. Illinois is trying to get things figured out on the offensive end. They swing it around. That was a tough hit. Ty Rogers got creamed on that play. That could have been a potential foul on Arkansas, but then they just called a foul on Jordan Walsh, who's been inserted to the game. He's a really solid freshman as well for Arkansas, but he's definitely a player that's struggling on the offensive end. But they're showing Trevon Brazile out for the season with a torn ACL. He was averaging 12 points per game in the 9 games he played early on in the season. That was a tough loss for Arkansas. But Arkansas might need some offense from Jordan Walsh as well if there are other players that can't make some shots. But we'll see what he can provide. Coleman Hawkins at the top of the key. He's going to have to make a play for Illinois. He scoops it up, but it's an air ball, and it's a shot clock violation. Illinois has a bad possession all around. Good defense by Arkansas. They forced him to the outside. And Jordan Walsh, who is a really good defensive player, putting his hands on the ball. And that forced a shot clock violation. So 3 turnovers for Illinois early in this game. Anthony Black gets it to Devontae Davis. He shoots a tough 2, and he knocks down another shot. Devontae Davis for Arkansas up to 6 points. He's got 6 of their 10 points, so it's 10-5 Arkansas. 13 to go in the first. Coleman Hawkins is still struggling at the top of the key, but he swings it to Jay Nepps, and he misses a floater. And Arkansas with the rebound. And Anthony Black with a freshman mistake turned it over. Coleman Hawkins with the steal. And Jay Nepps with the tough finish, 10-7. What a shot from Illinois. That was a really good shot. Through contact, maybe could have been an and one, but they didn't call it because Arkansas went straight up. But Anthony Black trying to drive, and he gets blocked by Ty Rogers. What a play by Illinois. Matthew Mayer loses his shoe. He's still without his shoe on right now. Wonder if they'll try to get him a shot without a shoe on. That'd be funny. Jay Nepps trying to drive. He gets stopped by Anthony Black. And a turnover. What defense by Arkansas. And another steal because Arkansas tried to throw a half-court pass. Now Illinois is throwing a half-court pass, and they turn it over. Sloppiness everywhere. 10-7 Arkansas. Makai Mitchell down low for the Razorbacks, and he gets a tough 2. 12-7 Arkansas. But there was 3 turnovers back-to-back because both teams were trying to throw the ball down the floor. And Matthew Mayer still does not have his shoe on. Craziness in March Madness. 12-7 Arkansas with 11:40 to go in the first. Coleman Hawkins with the ball at the top of the key. Now he's on the right block trying to drive. He kicks it to Ty Rogers, and he misses a floater. And Arkansas with the rebound. Makai Mitchell with the board, the Rhode Island transfer. Ricky Council's driving in for Arkansas, and they call a foul on Illinois. So we have a 12-7 game with 11:17 to go in the first half. But that's crazy. You've got shoes falling off of players. You've got turnovers and half-court passes. A lot of fouling going on, lots of turnovers. It's definitely crazy for sure. Inside the pylon says, hey, bro, how you doing today, man? Thanks for being here. This game is chaotic, though, for sure. Both teams are just sloppy all around. But in other action in March Madness right now, you've got some other games going on. Alabama's got a big 66-48 lead over Texas A&M Corpus Christi. San Diego State's beating College of Charleston 41-34. And Arizona's beating Princeton 24-20. So not much surprise there. But in the earlier games, Furman with the massive upset over Virginia, 68-67. Missouri beat Utah State 76-65. Kansas beat Howard 96-68. And you had a big win over West Virginia, getting beat by Maryland. Maryland squeaking out the win over the Mountaineers. That's a tough loss overall for Bob Huggins, because Bob Huggins, he had a solid team. But sometimes when you're in the tough conference like the Big 12, you have that grind. And even though it might prepare you for the tournament, sometimes it wears you down. And the Big 10 was tough this year as well, but Maryland pulled out the 67-65 win over the Mountaineers. And Kevin Willard gets his first tournament win as the Maryland head coach and his first season as the head coach of the Terps. A really solid year overall for the former Seton Hall coach. Jackson Johnson's here. How you doing, man? He says Texas A&M, Corpus Christi may not beat Bama, but look most definitely prepared for St. Patrick's Day with their uniforms. Well, that's definitely, they got one thing going for them. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like the green's going to help them with the luck getting the win. Alabama's up 20 now. They're just a fantastic team. Alabama, I mean, they have some flaws because of the fact they take too many threes, and sometimes it's too much isolation ball, which in college basketball, passing works better. But they have gotten a little bit better at passing throughout the season. But I think Alabama is a team that could go really far. Jackson Johnson, he says Texas A&M may not beat Bama, but they look most definitely prepared for St. Patrick's Day. He wrote it again. I don't think Texas A&M will be able to do that, though, because they wear brown. They're not green, but Corpus Christi for sure. But thanks for retyping that, though. But I will say in this game right here, you've got Illinois and Arkansas. I mean, this is a game between two teams that have a lot of talent. And I think that the talent is also showing that sometimes you can, try to overdo yourself. I think that both these teams are just very sloppy right now. They're trying to prove that they're really good and get things going. Both teams trying to do half-court passes. It's just not really smart basketball. I think both teams need to settle it down, take better shots as well. Nick Smith's a great player. And yes, he is still a little rusty because of the fact he's missed so much time from his injury. But I do think overall you can tell he's a little sped up in this game. He's taken bad shots. He's turned it over a couple times. He just has to settle it down. And Illinois, same thing. They're just really sloppy with the basketball. But Ricky Council's at the line for Arkansas. He hits the first. It was 13-7 Arkansas. Jackson Johnson, he says 3 things in life that are sure to happen: death, taxes, Virginia being a disaster in March. Well, it's definitely looking that way. I mean, I'm not saying Tony Bennett's definitely not Rick Barnes, because Virginia has a national championship. So, I mean, you can't use that argument that they never win. But losing to UMBC and this year losing to Furman, it's kind of becoming a problem for Virginia. If they don't have a lot of shooting, then they're definitely beatable because their offense can just fall asleep. Illinois misses a tough shot. Nick Smith with the ball for Arkansas in the corner. He kicks it back to Ricky Council. And Ricky Council with a nice spin move. And he misses the shot, though. Everything but the finish. So it's 13-7 Arkansas. 10:45 to go in the first. Illinois has Sincere Harris in the game. He's had a solid season as a freshman for Illinois. He's averaging 4 points, but he's done a lot of things. Jackson Johnson says Tony Bennett is a Rick Barnes 2.0. Again, you are technically correct because he has lost so many times early on, but he at least has that national championship, whereas Rick Barnes has never really advanced like to a Final Four much or a national championship game or won it. At least Tony Bennett has that to his name. But besides that one year, he has lost early a lot, so you can definitely use the comparison for sure. But at least Tony Bennett has a national championship win. I think Rick Barnes really needs to advance far in the tournament sometime, because if he doesn't, then there's a potential chance, that he's not going to be a Hall of Fame coach. I know a lot of people are saying he has no chance, but he has a lot of wins. He's one of the most winningest coaches in college basketball, but he's just really struggling to advance far in the tournament. Every year they have the teams capable of doing it, but then they get upset. It'll be interesting to see if Tennessee can win their first round game. Jackson says so true. I completely agree. But Illinois at the line, and Dane Danger, he splits a pair of free throws. So it's 13-8. Arkansas, 10:20 to go in the first. Arkansas with the ball. Nick Smith at the top of the key. He's really struggling so far in this game, but he gets a floater inside, and he misses. Nice play. Really saw the talent on that play, but he just misses the shot. Sincere Harris bringing the ball down the floor for Illinois. He's driving in. What a move on Anthony Black. That was a nice play by Sincere Harris. He used his quicker speed, and, even though he's a lot shorter than Anthony Black, but he has the speed to blow by Anthony Black and get the layup. That was a really good shot. 13-10 Arkansas. 9:40 to go in the first. Jordan Walsh, he's driving in on Coleman Hawkins. He's a big body. He's driving in, and he knocks in the tough floater. 15-10 Arkansas. 9:30 to go in the first. R.J. Melendez with the ball at the top of the key. He passes it to Coleman Hawkins. He kicks it to Sincere Harris. Terrence Shannon had an open three, but he fumbled it. R.J. Melendez fakes the three, and he takes a tough two. And he misses the shot. He tried to draw a foul, and he did not get the call. And you have Arkansas swinging it down the floor. And Makel Mitchell kicks it back out to Anthony Black. And Makel Mitchell, he gets fouled. So more free throws for the Razorbacks. Arkansas is really moving the ball down the floor and trying to draw fouls, get to the foul line, which is probably a really good strategy. Dane Danger, he tried to go straight up, but he did get him with the body. So Makel Mitchell, the other Mitchell brother for Arkansas, the transfer from Rhode Island as well, averaging 4 points a game this year. He's at the line. And he hits the first. So it's 16-10 Arkansas with 8:59 to go in the first. Arkansas is playing some solid basketball in this game. They've been a little sloppy, but they're starting to settle it down a little bit. Illinois is still struggling to shoot the basketball, and they're going to have to knock some shots down if they want to stay in this game. Makel Mitchell with another free throw, and he does miss the second. So it's still a 16-10 lead for Arkansas. 8:55 to go in the first. Illinois with only 10 points in over 11 minutes of action. That is tough. Definitely not getting a lot of points for them. And Terrence Shannon, he turns the ball over. Arkansas is moving in the floor, and Nick Smith for two with a layup. You don't want Arkansas in space. They are a talented team, very dangerous in transition. So it's 18-10 Arkansas. Illinois is going to have to find a way to limit the turnovers. Sincere Harris, he's trying to get the ball down to Dane Danger on the block. And Dane Danger wraps around, and he misses the shot. But they call a turnover. Arkansas with the ball. I think they said he walked. It definitely did look like he walked, though. Yeah, he didn't keep his pivot foot. He took about 4 or 5 steps. So 7 turnovers for Illinois. So Illinois is not hitting their shots. They're turning the ball over, but they're only down 8 still. But they're going to have to find a way to get some offense. And they call a foul on Illinois on Terrence Shannon. Looks like Anthony Black might have a couple free throws. Arkansas is just driving in. They're not doing much on offense. They're just driving in and drawing contact. It's smart play calling. So it's 18-10 Arkansas, and Anthony Black has 2 free throws to try to cut this lead, to extend this lead to 10 points. Illinois needs to cut into this lead if they want to find a way to get back in the game. But Anthony Black, he does miss the first, so Arkansas is missing some free throws. They're getting to the line, but they're not hitting all their shots, so that could definitely help Illinois try to get back in this game. All these missed free throws could come back to bite Arkansas later in the game. Anthony Black with his second free throw, he does knock that one down. So 19-10, he split a pair of free throws. Illinois down 9 with 8 to go in the first half. Arkansas is 5 of 8 at the line. Illinois is 1 of 2. Illinois is Jay Nepps back in the game. And Jay Nepps is driving in, and he shoots a tough layup, but he misses it. But Illinois does get the rebound. They're on the deck. Luke Goody and Makel Mitchell fighting for the basketball. Both teams are scrapping for it. They might have called a top, but they might have called a foul, but we'll find out after the timeout. 19-10 Arkansas with 7:54 left in the first half. Both teams are trying really hard, but if Illinois can't make shots, it's not going to matter. Alabama's extended the lead on Texas A&M Corpus Christi. It's 76-52. San Diego State is now up on College of Charleston 45-39, and Arizona only up 3 on Princeton 31-28. So Arizona, a team a lot of people think can maybe go all the way and win a championship or go to the Final Four. Not looking too good early against Princeton, but maybe they'll blow it open in the second half. But still, they're definitely struggling early. But Illinois, they're a team that has had times this season where they've been turnover prone, but they are really struggling with the length of Arkansas in this game. Arkansas has a long team, and making passes against them is so difficult because they can just have their arm out and steal the ball. But Illinois is going to have to find a way to deal with that length because Illinois has length themselves, but they're just not handling the basketball very well. They're turning the ball over, and they're not hitting their shots. There's been times this year where Illinois has been lethal from three. Matthew Mayer's had some big games. Terrence Shannon's had some big games, but both players are cold right now for Illinois. And if neither heat up, then it could be a game that Illinois gets blown out in. But I think Illinois, they have a lot of talent as well. And if they start hitting their shots and stop turning the basketball over, I think they can get back in this game, especially because Arkansas has missed a lot of free throws, which could give Illinois the chance to come back. But it's going to be very interesting. It's been a high-level game. You can see the talent on the floor. And I do think, either one of these teams, if they do win, has a chance potentially to, make noise in March because they'll have to go up against the 1 seed. And even though it's tough to beat a 1 seed, North Carolina beat Baylor last year, so you never know. Baller Money Life, he says, I picked in my bracket Illinois. Thanks for being here, Baller Life. Well, hopefully for you, Illinois can come back so your bracket can, stay perfect unless you've already lost the game in the bracket. But Illinois is definitely struggling right now. They're just turning the ball over way too much, and they're not hitting shots. I mean, you look at Illinois as a team this season, they had games where Matthew Mayer, like I said, had like 25 points. He's hit 6 threes, and he's just not hitting shots right now. Yes, Arkansas is playing great defense, but they've also had some wide open misses as well. And I think that some shots Illinois has made tougher. Instead of taking the easy shot, they've tried to take the tougher shot, to drive in, try to draw contact, and they're just not getting the fouls. Arkansas is doing a better job of drawing fouls right now. Illinois is 1 of 6 from 3. Baller Life says, love your videos. Thank you, man. I definitely try for sure. Try to make good content, but thank you so much. That means a lot. I'll definitely be having some more videos out soon, but, with all these games going on, it's tough to do both, but I'll definitely have some more videos soon, but thanks a lot, man. And Illinois misses another shot. It's 19-10. 7:30 to go in the first half. Nick Smith with the basketball. He's trying to drive on Jay Ness, but he takes a tough two, and he knocks it down. 21-10 Arkansas. 7:20 to go in the first. Illinois needs a bucket badly. I get it to Jay Neps down low, but again, Nick Smith's there. Not letting them get the easy layup. Terrence Shannon's trying to drive. Coleman Hawkins at the top of the key kicks it back to Terrence Shannon. And Jay Neps shoots a 3, and he misses. Ricky Council with the rebound. 21-10 still, 7 to go in the first. And Nick Smith had the ball that Anthony Black had, and then he kicks it to Ricky Council, and Ricky Council gets fouled, and Coleman Hawkins does not like it. Coleman Hawkins feels that he did not foul on that play, but they definitely called a foul, and Arkansas has more free throws. This will be their 9th and 10th free throw shot of this first half. Illinois has only been to the line for 2 free throws, so Brad Underwood's probably not going to like that very much. Ricky Council, the transfer from Wichita State, pretty good free throw shooter, and he knocks down the first, and now you've got a 22-10 lead. Illinois has not scored in like 4 minutes. Bar Life said it was a bad year for me on college basketball. My favorite team is UNC, so I think every human on the planet knows about number 1 to no postseason. For sure, I'm, from North Carolina, and, I'm a North Carolina, fan technically, even though I'm, pretty unbiased person for sure in sports. But I like North Carolina a lot and wanted them to do better this year. But that was pretty humiliating for sure. To go from, the top team to not making the tournament. They didn't deserve to make the tournament. A lot of people say North Carolina, it's a brand school, they deserved it, but they only had 1 quad 1 win. They played bad all season, and the ACC was down as well, and they still couldn't get wins. So it's very unfortunate, but maybe next year will be better, especially if Hubert Davis can get things figured out. Inside the Pollen says, #go Razorbacks. Jeff says, hey, I'm here. Great covers. Thanks, man. Bar Life, he agrees for sure. It definitely is unfortunate. But finally, Illinois has a chance to get some points. It's 23-10 Arkansas, and Matthew Mayer's at the line, and he does hit the free throw. He's averaging 13 points a game for Illinois. He's been a very inconsistent player. He's had a lot of 20-point game outbursts, but he's also had some single-digit games. But he got fouled on a 3, so he will have 3 free throws, and he hits the first 2. That might be the break that the Fighting Illini needed to try to find a way to get back in this game. And he misses the last one, so he goes 2 for 3. So it's 23-12. Arkansas with 6:30 to go in the first. 7 of 10 at the line for Arkansas, 3 of 5 for Illinois. Nick Smith with the basketball. He's driving again on Luke Goody, and with a tough floater, but he does not hit it. Jordan Walsh tried to get the rebound, but it goes off of his foot, and Illinois with the stop that they desperately needed. They're showing Arkansas's defense on screen right now. They have blocked Illinois. They've stole the ball from Illinois. Their defense is fantastic, especially in this game. I mean, they've had some games this year where their defense has not been very good, but they have the length, the talent. And in a game like this where you have to win or go home, they're definitely showing up to play on defense. Illinois driving in. Matthew Mary kicks it to Luke Goody. Now to Coleman Hawkins in the corner, and he knocks down the 3. Illinois cut it to 8, 23-15. Illinois getting a little fired up, the fans as well. Ricky Council kicks it to Makai Mitchell. Back to Ricky Council. He slams it home. Ricky Council with the big dunk. 25-15 Arkansas. 5:40 to go in the first. Terrence Shannon driving in for Illinois, and he gets blocked by Makai Mitchell. And you've got Ricky Council driving the ball down the floor. Almost a turnover for Arkansas, but it goes off of Illinois. The action's picking up again. What a block by Makai Mitchell. He went to the point of attack when Terrence Shannon was driving, and he got the ball out of his hand right when he let go. That is the absolute perfect spot to block a ball. But Ricky Council to inbound for Arkansas. Jordan Walsh with the ball at the top of the key, and he kicks it back to Ricky Council, and he's driving on Mayer. Walsh thought he was going to take the 2, but he passes it to Anthony Black for the dunk. Arkansas is up 27-15. 5 to go in the first. Arkansas hounding Illinois again. Luke Goody does keep the ball, though. Ty Rogers dribbling. He kicks it to Goody for 3, and Illinois hits a 3. Big shot for the Illini. 27-18. Under 5 to go in the first. But Arkansas getting some big dunks early on in this game in the first half. And Anthony Black with a tough 2. That's NBA talent right there. 29-18. Luke Goody thought about another 3. He's hit 2, been a big spark plug off the bench for Illinois. Matthew Mayer for 3 in the corner, and he misses. He's off right now. And you have Arkansas with the rebound. Jalen Graham's in the game. He got a big rebound there. The Arizona State transfer. Eric Muslim's done a great job with his roster. Anthony Black surveying at the top of the key. He's trying to drive on Luke Goody. Kicks it to Jordan Walsh. And Ricky Council, he takes the 3, and he knocks it down from 30 feet. 32-18. You can just tell he's feeling it right now. Arkansas as a whole is feeling it. The crowd is engaged, and Illinois is back down by 14 after they cut it to 8. And they do call a foul on Anthony Black. Terrence Shannon will be going to the free throw line. But it's 32-18. Arkansas up by 14 at the under 4 timeout. Definitely not the first half that Illinois was looking for. A really high-flying first half. Both teams playing high-level basketball, but Illinois definitely been the sloppier team, definitely been the team that's struggling to make shots for sure. Inside the pylon said, I bet on Arkansas to cover at 2.5. Well, it's definitely looking like a good decision right now the way Arkansas is playing, but there are 2 halves in every game. Maybe Illinois could settle in, find a way to get back in this one, but right now Arkansas is just playing high-level basketball. And it is not looking good for Illinois if they could just keep allowing Arkansas to run all over them, drive in on them whenever they want to. It's definitely going to be really tough for them to come back. But again, Illinois has the talent in their own right, and if they can get hot from three, then you never know. Jeff says Arkansas is strong. Could be a long day for Illinois. Again, they just have a lot of talent, and their record is not indicative of how good they actually are because they are 20-13. But you look at a team like Arkansas, I think the reason the committee seeded them as an 8 seed, even though they had 13 losses, is because they know Arkansas, when healthy, is a great team. Nick Smith missed so much time. And I think if you look at if they had Trevon Brazile and Nick Smith the whole entire season, Arkansas could be a Final Four team. And you never know. Maybe they can make a run without Trevon Brazile. But still, I just think Arkansas is a very talented team. They have great players. And I think that injuries really has limited them from what they could really be this season. Jackson Johnson says, how cool would it be if Charleston and Furman played each other on Saturday? But first, Charleston needs to get through San Diego State. Well, it'd be really cool to see San Diego State as well because you have, still two smaller conference teams. But I know what you mean, though. Charleston's a really small conference team. They're down 5 right now. Alabama looks like they're going to get the win. They're up 85-67 on Texas A&M Corpus Christi. San Diego State's up 51-46 on College of Charleston. And Arizona with a 31-30 lead over Princeton at the half. So definitely Arizona going to have to play some better basketball in the second half if Arizona wants to get the comfortable win, or at least to win at all. Inside the pylon, so what do you guys think about Duke, Oral Roberts? Right now, -6 for Duke. On the spread, can Oral Roberts cover the spread, or will Duke run away with it? It's all going to come down to Max Abmas. If he has a big game, then you never know. I think there's a potential chance Oral Roberts could upset Duke or make it close. But if you look at, that game, if Kyle Filipowski and Derek Lively are not allowing Max Abmas inside and they're blocking his balls and making him shoot tough shots, then I think there's a chance Duke could run away with it because they're playing great basketball right now at this juncture of the season. But Oral Roberts, they are a scrappy team, and they have other good players as well besides Max Abmas. So that's a very interesting, thought right there on whether Oral Roberts could win or keep it close, or if Duke's going to run away with it. Just that's true. Yeah, the Razorbacks are good for sure. And Terrence Shannon, he's at the foul line. He hits the first free throw for Illinois. So it's 32-19, 3:50 to go in the first half. And he hits the second. So it's back down to a 12-point game, 32-20. They're bringing Dane Danger back in for Illinois. And Terrence Shannon, they're showing he scored 1,431 points in his career. He's had a solid career at Texas Tech and Illinois. Really good player. Jackson says, yeah, because San Diego State could break the Mountain West curse. Yeah, that would be cool if they advance for sure. Utah State going down, Nevada going down. It was not a good game for Nevada last night. Jordan Walsh, he misses a three, and Illinois with the rebound, Dane Danger. And Sincere Harrison, the game for Illinois yet again. He tried to kick it to Dane Danger, but he was not looking for it, and they turn it over. Arkansas to Jordan Walsh. He lays it in, and they call a blocking foul. So, and one for Jordan Walsh. 34-20, Razorbacks. 3:19 to go in the first. Jeff says, I think Duke will take that one over Oral Roberts. It's definitely a possibility. I think they have a good shot to win, even though Oral Roberts is a tough team. I think Oral Roberts would have been better off if they had been matched with another team. I don't think Duke was the best matchup for him. And Jackson says, Arizona up 31-30 against Princeton. I hope everybody on here isn't expecting Arizona to win at all. Well, I mean, a lot of people, they beat UCLA, behind the Arizona hype for sure. I think Arizona is a really good team. But we'll have to see. They're going to have to get by Princeton to find out. And Terrence Shannon with a tough two for the Illini. Cut it to 12 again. 34-22 after Jordan Walsh missed the free throw. Illinois has only hit 7 field goals in this game to Arkansas's 13. That is not going to get it done. But Illinois with the steal. Ty Rogers driving the basketball. And he gets blocked by Ricky Council. He was out of control. Arkansas is pushing it down the floor again. Nick Smith in the corner for 3. And he misses. Oh, Ricky Council tried to dunk, but he missed it. Off the missed 3 of Nick Smith, he tried to dunk the ball on the rebound attempt, and he missed the dunk. But what a block by him on Ty Rogers. So it's 34-22 Arkansas, 2:40 to go in the first. And Illinois has the basketball. Trying to find some offense. If they can get this down to about 7 or 8 points at half, they're still in the game and have a shot. And Illinois finally gets a shot to go their way. Terrence Shannon hit the front of the rim, hit the backboard, and win it. He's got 6 points. He's starting to heat up a bit. Illinois cut it to 10. They need stops, though. Jordan Walsh thought about the three, kicks it to Nick Smith. And Jordan Walsh drives in, and he loses the basketball off of his knee. So Illinois with the stop. They're down 10. Still time left in this first half for them to cut the lead. They can get this down to 6 to 8 points. Illinois is not out of this game. Ty Rogers bringing the ball up the floor for Illinois. He's had a quiet game. Terrence Shannon with the basketball. He's hit a couple big shots for Illinois to cut this leak, and he hit another one. He's driving in. And what a block by Makai Mitchell, but they do call a foul. Mitchell thought he went all ball straight up, but Terrence Shannon will have 2 free throws. So Illinois starting to climb back in this game. He got all ball there. That definitely was not a foul. I don't think. But unfortunately, as they say, sometimes some calls don't go your way, but he definitely went straight up. But Terrence Shannon at the line for 2 free throws. He knocks down the first. 9-point game. They take Mitchell out. He's got 2 fouls now. And Terrence Shannon with another free throw to potentially cut this to an 8-point game. And he hits it. So it's 34-26. 1:45 to go in the first. Nick Smith with the basketball. Bringing the ball up the floor. He's had a fairly quiet first half. They call a touch foul on R.J. Melendez, so Arkansas will be going to the line for a 1-and-1. $1:33 to go in the first. And you got a 34-26 lead for Arkansas, an 8-point lead, and Nick Smith at the free throw line. Maybe some free throws can get him going, but it's a 1-and-1. So if he misses the first, he will not get a second free throw. And he missed the free throw. Illinois with the board. That's a big miss. Again, allowing Illinois to creep back in this game a little bit. Another bucket here. And you could have a 2-possession game again. Ty Rogers drives in. He kicks out to Coleman Hawkins. He thought about the three. Terrence Shannon driving in. Oof. He turned it over, but Arkansas does lose it out of bounds. Amber Cat says, ooh, is it getting a bit more interesting? For sure, it's getting a little more interesting. Illinois was down by 14, but they have cut it to 8. Only a minute left in the first half, so they're doing everything they possibly can to try to cut this lead. Teddy Boy's back. What's the score? Thanks for being here, Teddy Boy. It's 34-26 Arkansas with a minute left in the first. And Illinois has the basketball. It was a 14-point lead for Arkansas, but Illinois is starting to cut into it a little bit. Illinois with the basketball down 34-26. Terrence Shannon for 3, and he airballs a 3. That was not a good shot. Needed more ball movement. But Shannon thought he got fouled on that one. But Arkansas up 8, inbounding the basketball. They haven't scored in 2 minutes, trying to extend this back to a double-digit lead if they make a bucket. Anthony Black, the 6'7" star freshman, with the step back. And he does not get the roll. He misses the shot. Illinois trying to scrap for the rebound, but Makai Mitchell, he scores, and he got knocked down, but it's 36-26. And it's a timeout for Illinois. Jackson Johnson says, looks like we have one game all set for Saturday, and that is Alabama-Maryland. That could be a good game. I mean, Alabama, I know a lot of people probably would expect them to run away with it over Maryland, but still, that could be close. I think if Alabama has a cold day from 3 and Maryland plays as scrappy and opportunistic as they did against West Virginia today, it's possible, but Alabama definitely will be favored and probably will have a better chance to win than Maryland, but Maryland could spring the upset. But Alabama is up 90-69 on Texas A&M Corpus Christi. San Diego State only up 4 on College of Charleston, 53-49, and still 31-30 Arizona at the half. Arizona definitely struggling a little bit in that first half. But Princeton, a solid team. The Ivy League champion, they beat Yale. But a little shocking to see them only up by 1 at the half. This has been a high-level first half here between Arkansas and Illinois. I think overall, if you look at Illinois, if they cut back on the turnovers and would take better shots, I think they'd actually, could potentially be winning this game. But for whatever reason, they've just been really sloppy with the ball. Being sloppy with the basketball does not help. But still, they have a really good chance to cut in this lead before half, maybe get it to 6 points or so. And if they can do that, then I think they have a good chance to maybe hang in the game in the second half, because Arkansas has had plenty of chances to extend this lead. Teddy Boy says, oh, wow, Princeton giving Arizona all they can handle for sure. I mean, a lot of people think Arizona is a team that could go all the way or go to the Final Four at least, but I will say that it's really interesting for Arizona to be a team that a lot of people think can go that far, and to be losing at times to Princeton in the first half. They were down several times in that first half and only up 1 at Princeton at the half. And if they lose that game, that will definitely be the biggest upset so far this season. Virginia Furman, that is a big upset, but still, a lot of people did call for Furman to win because no one had really a lot of faith in Virginia because their offense was so poor. But Arizona, definitely a team that has so much talent, a great offensive team. They've put up 80 and 90 points several times this season in the Pac-12, but with only 31 points at the half, and they're only up 1 over Princeton, and again, at several times in that first half we're losing, I think that is definitely alarming for people that think Arizona could go all the way. But again, sometimes all you need is a scare. If you can pull it out, then sometimes that could spring a run. Jackson says Charleston cannot rebound to save their life. Well, they're down 4 right now with under 4 to go. So if they don't start rebounding the basketball very well, then there's a really good chance San Diego State will pull that one out. Arkansas with a 10-point lead, 36-26, 36 seconds. Illinois trying to cut into this lead. Get it to under 10 so they'll have a chance in the second half. Ty Rogers dribbling the ball at the top of the key. Not much going on for Illinois on this possession right now. He's trying to dribble around Ricky Council, but he's making it really tough. They kick it to Luke Goody. Over to Terrence Shannon. 3 seconds on the shot clock. And Luke Goody for 2, he misses. That possession took way too long. But Arkansas turned it over, but Illinois turns it back over. And Anthony Black with a 3-point shot at the buzzer, and he hits the front of the rim. But Arkansas with a 10-point lead at the half. Definitely Illinois not out of this game for sure. But I will say that they definitely probably would have been better served to get it to 8 or 6 at the half. They just could not do it. And they are down by 10 at the half. But a high-level first half, Arkansas definitely displaying a lot of talent from their team. They play really good basketball at times. They were sloppy as well. But definitely Illinois was the sloppier basketball team. They had almost double-digit turnovers. They missed a lot of free throws. And they could not hit open threes. And that's going to have to change in the second half. Jeff says Hogs look great. They're playing really well. They've had a couple of lapses, but they are playing well. Alabama with a 91-70 lead over Texas A&M Corpus Christi. So Alabama easily getting by in their first game. But San Diego State only up 2 on Charleston, 53-51 with 3 to go. That could be a really interesting upset as well. I know a lot of people think Charleston could beat San Diego State, and it wouldn't be the biggest upset in the world. It's the 5-12 game, and since Charleston's 31-3, they have a great record. And San Diego State, they had a great season in the Mountain West, but that would not be the biggest upset in the world. But still, it's always interesting to have the double-digit seeds advance over the higher seeds. But now the game's tied. It's 53-all with 3 minutes left in the second. Charleston has a chance. Jackson says San Diego State committed a goaltend, thus making it a 53-53 tie. Charleston could win. This is definitely a close game for sure. Charleston's a really good passing team. So we have a 36-26 lead for Arkansas over Illinois at half, but right at the same time, you have a 53-all game between Charleston and San Diego State, 2:37 to go in that game. Man, I'm telling you, this game could, go down to the wire. It could be a last-second shot game. I'm hoping Arkansas and Illinois could get that close as well. Because Illinois, they were a team that in the Big Ten this season had ups and downs, and they showed that in the first half against Arkansas the whole entire game. The inconsistencies of their team. They had good moments, but they also struggled at times as well. But then you look at this Charleston-San Diego State game, this is exactly what you want March Madness to be. A tie game, 53-all. It's definitely what you want to see in March Madness. Jackson wants Charleston to win. Probably a lot of people do. Again, Charleston's a team, had a great year. They're the 12 seed. Some people probably thought that they should have been, a higher seed because they only had 3 losses, but they did lose to Hofstra in their conference later on down the season. But still, Hofstra beat Rutgers in the NIT in overtime. So not really a bad loss there, but that would be a big win. Really cool to see Charleston get the win. But thanks, everybody, for being here watching this stream. If you like the stream down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Thanks for being here. We got a really good game between Illinois and Arkansas. A 36-26 game at halftime. It's been a really high-level game. Should be a fun second half, especially if Illinois can start making some shots. San Diego State and Charleston, 53-all. 2:30 to go in the game. Matt Bradley driving in for San Diego State, and they knocked down a 2, so they're back up by 2. Matt Bradley's a really good player. Been fantastic for Brian Dutcher. I think that he's one of the most underrated players in college basketball. Matt Bradley, he's a really solid player that does not get a lot of attention unless you watch Mountain West basketball. But San Diego State's up 2 now with the basketball. They could hold on. Matt Bradley's doing everything he can to repel the Aztecs to victory. But Charleston's playing great defense. San Diego State pulls a 3, and they knock it down. A 5-point lead for the Aztecs. They want to move on. Charleston might fall short, but there's still enough time. That's going to be a wild finish, it seems. But it will be interesting to see how the second half goes for Arkansas, Illinois. I'm really intrigued to see how the Illini respond to Arkansas's length because I think Illinois definitely got sped up in that first half. They were turning the basketball over. You don't want to see that. In a March Madness game, you want to give it everything you've got, and you don't want to lose because of turnovers. So I think if you look at the second half for Illinois, if they turn the ball over less than 5 times in the second half and they hit at least 5 threes, then I think they have a really good chance to come back on Arkansas, but they're going to have to do all those things. Jackson says, rats, the Aztecs are winning. It's not over yet, but yes, the Aztecs are up 58-53 on College of Charleston with a $1:35 to go in the game. And Arizona now has a 5-point lead over Princeton. Jackson said maybe the Aztecs will pull a Virginia in the next minute or so. So I guess now Virginian is a term now. If you're Virginia, then you're gonna blow the game. Even though I do think overall Virginia's still a team that, again, yes, they lost to UMBC, yes, they lost to Furman, but Tony Bennett still has done a fantastic job with the Cavaliers. I wouldn't say that they are a team that's going to choke every year. They did win a national championship. But still, it is getting kind of alarming that they keep losing. And the fact that most people were predicting a upset from Furman, and it did happen, goes to show no one trusts the Cavaliers right now. Just like same thing with Tennessee with Rick Barnes. Charleston missed another shot. San Diego State with the rebound. They're up 5, minute 10 to go. It's not looking good for Charleston, especially if San Diego State scores here. I think the game will be over. 58-53 Aztecs, minute to go. Charleston's played a good game, played a really solid defensive game, but they're not making their shots. And sometimes offense beats defense. San Diego State did miss. In Charleston, they're getting the ball because it was an over and back on San Diego State. It's not over yet. If they can knock these free throws down and cut it to a one-possession game again. Teddy Boy says Kentucky fans are saying if Kentucky loses in the first round, they should fire Calipari. I can't believe it. Yeah, that's definitely an overreaction. I mean, Providence is a team I don't see how as an 11 seed. I thought Providence should have been higher, like an 8 or a 9 seed. I know some people are saying they didn't have enough quad 1 wins or whatever, but still, Providence is a good team. So, to me, losing in the first round would not be the worst loss in the world, not like losing to St. Peter's. But, I mean, still, Calipari won a national championship. He's been to Final Fours. Yes, the last few years haven't been that good. You had the bad year in 2020, even though the season got canceled, so it didn't really matter as much. And then you lost to St. Peter's, and they really haven't advanced far in the tournament recently. But still, I don't think it's time to fire Calipari. That's definitely an overreaction. But that's a fan base for you, especially when you have a team like Kentucky that has a rabid fan base that wants to win year in and year out. The expectations are extremely high. It's much better to coach a program when you don't have those high expectations because you can afford a few bad seasons and not get fired. But sometimes those expectations can make you better as a coach. We'll definitely see how Calipari can respond. But Charleston, they hit both free throws. San Diego State with a 3-point lead, less than a minute to go. Charleston's playing it out. They're not going to foul. But if San Diego State scores here, the game might be over. They're playing it out, trying to defend, get a stop. 35 seconds to go. San Diego State kicks it out. San Diego State's driving in. 5 to go on the shot clock. The Aztecs shoot a 3, and they airball it. But they call a foul on the 3. They called a foul on the 3. That was the worst mistake that Charleston could have made. He tried to guard him real close, but he hit him on the arm. It's those tight plays, man, in March Madness. You're doing everything you can to get a stop. So you get too close and you end up fouling. Pat Kelsey is probably not a happy guy right now. He's a really good coach. He did a great job at Winthrop, great job with College of Charleston, but he did foul. And if San Diego State hits it two or three of these free throws, then the game's really over. If he only hits 1, it'll be a 4-point game. Charleston still have a good shot, but if he hits 2 or 3, it's going to be tough. And he hits the first. Matt Bradley's a great free throw shooter. As Jackson said, Charleston did blow it, unfortunately. It's not looking good. Arizona's up 39-32 on Princeton. They're starting to get some separation. He does miss the second free throw, however. Maybe leaving the door open a little bit. Jackson says, but on the bright side, the Aztecs versus the Paladins will be a fun matchup for sure. Both smaller conference teams. Yes, San Diego State's a team that's normally, in the tournament, and they usually advance sometimes. But, yeah, it's still a really fun matchup. Jeff says Charleston is done. It would appear so. And Matt Bradley, he knocks down the last one, so he goes 2 of 3. It's 60-55. Teddy Boy said, I think Auburn-Iowa game should be interesting. I agree. If Iowa can make shots, hit a lot of threes, and they can win, and they've been cold the last couple of games, so you never know. They could find a way to get hot from 3 in this game, but they're going to have to make a lot of threes or they will not win. Because last year, Iowa won the Big Ten tournament, and they beat Purdue, and a lot of people were picking Iowa to go to the Final Four, including Dick Vitale. But unfortunately for Iowa, they played Richmond, couldn't make shots, and Richmond beat them. This year, it's the opposite. Iowa's had a lot of good games, but after they beat Indiana, then Iowa lost their last 2 games. They lost to Nebraska, and they lost to Ohio State in the Big Ten tournament. Both teams they should have beaten, and they didn't shoot well. So using that logic, you'd think maybe they'd have a really good shooting game again and be able to beat Auburn. But Auburn is a scrappy team, so it will be interesting. I definitely agree with you. I probably will be live streaming again tonight. After the Arkansas-Illinois game's over, I'll get off, and then I'll probably be back on tonight for Penn State, Texas A&M. Do a lot of coverage of the late games. So hopefully you guys will return tonight. But thanks for being here. If you guys are new, like the stream down below. Subscribe to the channel if you like the stream. But thanks for being here. We've got a really good game with Arkansas and Illinois. But right now, tuning in on San Diego State Charleston. It's about to wrap up. The Aztecs with a 60-57 lead over Charleston. 18 seconds left. Martha Ashley, thanks for being here. She says, go Hogs. The Hogs are definitely looking good. I mean, you got to give Arkansas a lot of credit. They're a team that's fought through the injuries, and they've been playing really good basketball to end the season. Nick Smith, he's been really inconsistent in this game, but he is showing the talent that he has, why he's going to be a top 10 draft pick. Anthony Black's playing well. They have a long team, a deep team. Even without Trevon Brazile, Eric Musselman has a dangerous team. And Illinois is just turning the ball over. Illinois just got to settle down, find a way not to turn the ball over, make some shots, get Terrence Shannon and Matthew Mayer going. And if they can do that, then I think Illinois has a chance. But it will be interesting to see how they respond in the second. So San Diego State's going to the free throw line, 13.5 seconds left in the game. Adam Seco for the Aztecs at the line, an 80% free throw shooter. And if he hits at least one free throw, then it looks like San Diego State will hold on. But it is a 1-and-1, tons of pressure. So if he misses, Charleston will have another chance. And he hits the free throw, ice in his veins, big free throw. So it's 61-57 now. It's not completely over for Charleston, but a 4-point lead for the Aztecs. He does miss the second. 10 seconds to go. Charleston's bringing the ball down the floor. They're driving in, trying to get a 2, and they miss. San Diego State with the board, 3 seconds to go, and this game is over. And they call a foul with like a second left in the game. The Aztecs are going to be moving on. They will face Furman. What a big game. Unfortunately for Charleston, they had a great season. It definitely should not be overlooked. They definitely deserve to be in the NCAA tournament. They won the auto bid, but I even think they probably should have been in the tournament, even if they didn't win in their conference tournament, because they were really good all season. But it looks like they are going to lose. San Diego State has got the game. That was a high-level game for sure. But it will definitely be interesting to see with a San Diego State-Furman matchup how Furman does against the Aztecs. I actually think that gives Furman a really good chance. You know, both these teams, really. You have a San Diego State or a Charleston matchup is what Furman would have had. I think that gives Furman a good chance. Because even though both teams are really good and it's looking like for sure San Diego State's going to win, so that's who they're going to play, I think San Diego State's a team Furman can beat. It's not a Power 5 team. You're not playing like a Duke. If Duke was the 5 seed and then you would have Furman playing Duke, that would be tough or something like that. But since it's not, since you're going to have to play San Diego State, I could see Furman winning that game possibly, and then they could go to the Sweet 16. That's where Cinderellas are born for sure. San Diego State hit the first free throw. They have a 5-point lead with 1 second left. So Brian Dutcher's team is going to get the win. They won 63-57 over College of Charleston. College of Charleston ends their season with only 4 losses. And San Diego State, as Jackson said, breaking the Mountain West curse. They've already had their teams in Utah State and Nevada go down, but not this time. Big win for San Diego State, and they will face Furman. That will be a really interesting matchup. Teddy Boy says, I got Arkansas losing in the second round to Kansas. That's going to be a tough matchup for them. Easy Money's back. Thanks for being here. Easy Money says, roll Tide, roll. What's happening, y'all? A lot of big results. You just had College of Charleston lose to San Diego State. Virginia got upset by Furman, even though to a lot of people that wasn't an upset. Kansas easily beat Howard. Alabama easily beat Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Missouri beat Utah State. Thanks for being here, man. I'm just so excited with all these games. This is one of the best times of the year. if you're a sports fan, especially a college basketball fan. You just cannot beat March Madness. We got a great game here, Arkansas and Illinois. Arkansas is up by 10 at the half, but Illinois was very sloppy in that first half and very fortunate to only be down 10. It could be a way worse deficit for the Illini, but I think they have a shot to come back. Teddy Boy says Howard hung with Kansas for a half. Seems like Kansas always, usually does this. I've seen it tons of times where whoever Kansas is playing in the first round, it's always a close game in the first half, and then Kansas just blows it open. So I don't know if they're just teasing them a little bit, allowing them to stay in the game, and then just blow it open. I have no idea. But it seems like Kansas does that, though, all the time. It seems like they're always in a close game. You're like, could they somehow lose, and then they just blow it open and win by 30. Jackson says, with San Diego State winning today, the Mountain West has won an NCAA tournament game for the first time since 2018. That is insane, especially with how good the Mountain West has been the last few seasons. There's been a lot of teams that have played high-level basketball from that conference, and they've gotten several teams into the NCAA tournament the last few years, but to not have a team win a tournament game in 5 years, that's crazy. But definitely a big win for the Aztecs. Jeff says March Madness is a blast for sure. I mean, you don't have this in many sports where you have so many games on at the same time. You have to flip the channels, watch all the games. So many teams get to play in this tournament and have a chance to win the whole thing. You don't have this in other sports. It's usually either a few teams or it's just usually, the top teams. Like in football, you have the college football playoff, and then you have all the bowl games, but the bowl games aren't the same. With this tournament, every team from the 1 seed to the 16 seed has an equal chance to win the whole thing, even though obviously the teams at the bottom don't have as many good players, so their odds are lower to make it. But it's just so cool to have all these teams, and then the Cinderellas. It's just awesome. And then you get games like Illinois-Arkansas, these first-round matchups that are really intriguing. The 8-9s, the 7-10s, the 6-11 games. Just fun games everywhere. And we're only halfway through day one. You've got tomorrow as well, but there's going to be a lot of games tonight, so it's going to be awesome. Easy Money says, got a pull for Arkansas, SEC. My Crimson Tide won big, and Missouri won. Mississippi State lost to Pitt in a thriller, though, but roll Tide, roll, and go SEC, SEC. Yeah, that Mississippi State game was fantastic. I mean, you could not ask for a better look in the corner. Wide open three. He just missed the shot, and if they hit that shot, the Bulldogs are advancing and Pittsburgh's going home. But I think overall, sometimes when you're down 1, you take a 2. But you had a wide open 3, so you can't ask for a better look than that. But it seems like Arkansas, Illinois is about to be starting the second half. The Fighting Illini with a 10-point deficit. It will be interesting to see if they can get Matthew Mayer or Terrence Shannon going, because I think both of those guys are going to have to at least combine for 25 points in the second half if they want a really good chance to win. I think that you look at Illinois, they have a lot of talent, but they don't have the high-end level of talent that Arkansas has. Arkansas, some of their players are just ridiculously talented. They have a lot of talent. They're long. They have depth. Eric Musselman has done a great job building up that roster to make Arkansas one of the most talented teams in the country. But Brad Underwood, he lost a lot of players from last year's team. Kofi Cockburn, Alfonso Plummer, Trent Frazier, but he replaced it with Matthew Mayer and Terrence Shannon and Dane Danger. He had Sky Clark, but he lost him. But Jay Nepps has been solid. So I think Illinois has the talent to get the job done, but it will be interesting to see if they can come back in this game. Easy Money says, yep, it was a thrill. I forget how many lead changes, 19, maybe 20, crazy Mississippi State Pitt game. I think it was 21 lead changes, which was insane. They said it was the most in a tournament game in many years. It had been at least like 10 years or so. And then obviously the first 4 also had, Arizona State scoring 98, which was the most points ever scored in the first 4 games. So still just a lot of crazy results going on. But the second half has started. Arkansas with the basketball, up 10. What a drive by Devontae Davis. He knocks it down. He had a really good first half, but he kind of cooled off toward the end of that first half. But he's starting out the second half strong with a big floater. He's got 8 points, 38-26 Arkansas. Arizona's up 10 on Princeton as well, 45-35 with 12 to go in that one. Coleman Hawkins for 3 for Illinois. He misses the 3. They still cannot get going. None of the experienced players for Illinois, Coleman Hawkins, Matthew Mayer, Terrence Shannon, they just can't make shots right now. But Arkansas looking really confident right now. Ricky Council, the Wichita State transfer, driving in. He kicks it to star freshman Anthony Black. Nick Smith with the basketball now. The ball movement's been exquisite for Arkansas in this early part of the second half. Ricky Council misses a tough 2. Easy Money says, sounds right, 21. I knew at least 19. That was a crazy game. You love to see lead changes going back and forth, and you don't know who's going to win. He says, how about Furman upsetting Virginia? Yeah, that was a crazy result. I mean, I'm not super surprised, to be honest. I think that you look at Virginia, they're a team that is easily upset if they're not making shots. Their offense definitely struggles. But I do think overall, you still got to give props to Furman for sure. Even if it's not as surprising of an upset as like a UMBC over Virginia, they still perform really well. And they hit a big shot with 2 seconds left. And then Virginia tried to hit a half-court 3, but it fell short. But yes, that definitely was a surprise. But maybe not as big of an upset as in the past. But Dane Danger at the free throw line for Illinois. Arkansas up 12, 18:47 to go in the second half. Dane Danger has struggled at the line this year. And he misses both free throws. That's huge for Illinois. They're not shooting well at the line. They're 7 of 11. But some key misses that could have helped them be closer in this game. Arkansas 38-26, 18:30 to go in the second half. Anthony Black driving in for Arkansas. He almost got it stripped from Terrence Shannon, but he kicks it out. Devontae Davis with a 35-foot 3, but he misses it. The shot clock was low, which is why he shot it. Coleman Hawkins with another wide open 3, and he knocks that one down finally. Maybe that will get him going. 38-29. Easy Money says West Virginia versus Maryland was good. It looked like all West Virginia out of the gate, then Maryland came on late. For sure, West Virginia played really well at the beginning of the first half. Then Maryland came back. Then West Virginia had a good run in the second half, but Maryland came back yet again and got the win. That was a really good game. Very unfortunate for Bob Huggins. Terrence Shannon with the ball for Illinois, and he lays it in down to 7. 38-31 Arkansas, 17:40 to go in the second. Illinois got a little bit of life. The fans are starting to get back into it. And Terrence Shannon's up to 10 points. But thanks, everybody, for being here. Like the stream down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thanks, everybody, for being here. We got a really good game on tap. March Madness is upon us. Devontae Davis with a tough step back, too, and he does not knock it down. Illinois with the board. Coleman Hawkins bringing the ball up the floor. He's driving, and he seems more confident after hitting that 3, but he gets blocked by Ricky Council. Easy Money says free throws will kill you sometimes, make or break. That was a factor in our regular season versus Texas A&M. That's okay. We whipped their butts in the SEC tournament for sure. Well, I mean, if you're not hitting your free throws, I mean, and the other team is, or they're just making more shots, especially what really hurts is when you missed enough free throws that could have been the difference. Like if you lose by like 4 points and you miss like 10 free throws, if you had to hit at least 5 of those, then you win. That's the unfortunate thing. But it is what it is. You can't get those games back. But like you said, Alabama turned around, beat Texas A&M, so we'll see how far they go in the tournament. But Coleman Hawkins at the line, he hits both free throws for Illinois, and we have a 5-point game. 38-33 Arkansas, 17 to go in the second half. And Illinois is on a 7-0 run, a run they desperately needed. We'll see how Arkansas responds to Illinois' run. Devontae Davis probing in the paint. And he tries to do a layup, but he passes it instead. And there's an and one. 40-33. Big shot for Arkansas. Illinois had a really good run going, but Arkansas does not want to let the Illini back in the game. Jackson John said, I know, right? At Easy Money, what a fantastic finish by Furman for sure. And Easy Money also says, Yeah, it was missing. Alabama was missing free throw. We were missing. That was one factor. Missing threes too. Yeah, that's the problem with Alabama is why they could be upset if they have a bad night shooting from the free throw line. They're not able to hit their threes at a high enough rate. They could lose, but they have so much talent that they're gonna be a really tough team to beat, even if they're not playing at 100% or at their highest level. Arkansas up 41-33 on Illinois. They did not hit the free throw, or they did hit the free throw. Now it's an 8-point lead. They're hitting their free throws better than Illinois. For sure, Illinois missed some free throws. They're also showing that Matthew Mayer, 3-point field goals in the last 2 games. He was 1 of 15. He's really struggling from 3. He's gone cold at a bad time for Illinois. But Illinois does get the steal. But Arkansas just got a 3-point play. They hit a shot and the free throw to extend it back to an 8-point lead, which is really huge. Because Arkansas, they're hitting their free throws. Illinois is now up to 11 turnovers. Arkansas has 8 turnovers. Anthony Black driving in. What a block by Dane Danger. Easy Money says, I swear I believe Texas A&M was perfect from the line that night. Basically near perfect. Yeah, they probably were. A lot of teams shoot well from the free throw on some nights, but then the next night they can't score. Dane Danger just got fouled for Illinois, but no free throws. It's on the floor. Easy Money says our bench play was great versus Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Pringle was awesome. It definitely helps when you're playing a team like Texas A&M Corpus Christi because a lot of those teams, they only have like 1 or 2 players that are really solid. But then you have like a team like Alabama that's deep and they have so many great players. It definitely helps for sure. Arizona's up 49-41 on Princeton with 8:52 to go in the second. Arizona's not scoring a lot of points. And they didn't score a lot of points against UCLA either. Their offense is kind of struggling right now, which is really surprising to see because of the fact usually Arizona is a team that averages about 80 points per game. But they're going to have to score more points in this tournament if they do advance, if they want to go to the Final Four. But Arkansas playing really solid basketball in this game. They're hitting more of their free throws than Illinois. They're hitting more shots than Illinois. They're turning the ball over less than Illinois, and that's why they have the lead. Illinois is just not doing anything better right now than Arkansas. That's why they are down by 8 points. But it will be interesting to see. To me, the only way Illinois can come back in this game is if Matthew Mayer can get going as well. Because Coleman Hawkins, he's starting to hit some shots. He's getting some confidence. Terrence Shannon's hit some big shots. But Matthew Mayer, he is such a key player for Illinois. And he has been cold from 3. He's really struggling from the field. Last couple of games, he has not played well. But Illinois definitely needs his contributions in this one. Because Arkansas just has so much talent. They're getting contributions from a plethora of players. And Illinois cannot match that right now because they only have a couple players making shots. And their contributors, besides Luke Goody, who hit 2 big threes in the first half, Illinois has not got a lot of production from their bench. Easy Money says Big Ten got 8 teams in. SEC got 8 teams in. Let's see who goes further. SEC. Well, I will say the Big Ten has mightily struggled in the NCAA tournament the last few years, which is why a lot of people think the Big Ten's overrated and shouldn't be getting as many teams as they do in. But they perform well in the non-conference, and then they play in conference play, and they're beating up on each other. So enough teams have enough quality wins to get in the tournament, which is why they've gotten so many teams in the tournament the last few years. But I do think if you look at the Big Ten, they do need a good tournament this year to really get, that narrative off their back that they can't advance. But Maryland got a big one over West Virginia. That was a good win for the Big Ten, but we'll see how far the Big Ten advances. But the SEC has definitely been better lately, the last few years. But Teddy Boy does say SEC struggled last year in the tournament too, except for Arkansas. Yeah, they did. Outside of Arkansas, they had some struggles. But I do think over the last 5 to 10 years, the SEC has been better than the Big Ten in the tournament year over year. But last year, the SEC wasn't great, though. RJ Melendez pulls a 3 for Illinois, and he does not knock it down. Makai Mitchell with the rebound. Probably not the shot Illinois was looking for there. They probably needed to find a way to get the ball inside. Illinois has struggled in the paint today. Arizona's only up 3 on Princeton now, 51-48 with 6 to go. That game's getting interesting. But Arkansas with a 41-33 lead over Illinois, 15 to go in the second. Devontae Davis has the ball at the top of the key. He's driving in, and he takes a tough 2, and Matthew Mayer blocks it. That was really good defense from Mayer. Terrence Shannon for 2 and 1, 41-35. He's playing well in the second half. Terrence Shannon's a really solid player, and he has the potential to be a really good player in the pros if he can continue to shoot better from the three-point line because he has a lot of talent. Easy Money says, yep, same. The year before, the Big Ten sent more than anyone. Most went out by the second round or so. Michigan made the lead, then UCLA beat them. Yeah, most of the teams did not advance far. And that's where the narrative is that the Big Ten can't advance and that they don't deserve teams. They need to advance more. You can't just make the tournament. You have to perform well. So we'll see how far Purdue goes, Indiana goes, Iowa, Maryland, all these teams. Anthony Black, he drove in, and they call a foul on Terrence Shannon. He does not like it. Thanks, Easy Money. It's going to be interesting to see for sure. There's so many storylines with March Madness as well. Another big reason why it's so awesome because of the fact you have all these questions. How are each conference going to perform? You know, how are all these conferences going to perform? How are all these players going to perform? You're going to see the stars. And a lot of these players move up the boards, the draft boards, when they play really well. Sometimes, you know, you don't even hear of some of these players, and then they play in the tournament at a high level, and you get to see them, and then they become household names. So the tournament does so much for so many people with players and teams and conferences, and it's just so much fun to see it all. Connor Johnson, thanks for being here. He says, more and more people in your shows, Jeffrey. Thumbs up. Thanks, man. Thank you guys so much for being here. You guys definitely make these live streams so much better. All your guys' comments are for sure awesome. Makes the game so much more interesting talking about March Madness. You guys are amazing. Easy Money says, hit the like button, y'all. Thank you so much. If you guys are new here, subscribe to the channel as well. But thanks for being here. We got a big game. Arkansas up 6 on Illinois. The Illini are making it interesting, though. Great show, Jeffrey. Thanks a lot, Easy Money. Devontae Davis in the corner. He knocks down the 3. Arkansas back up by 9. 14-20 to go in the second half. He's having a really big game for Arkansas. He's now in double digits in scoring. Every time Illinois is making a little bit of a run, Arkansas just hits a big shot. Coleman Hawkins is trying to draw a foul, and Jordan Walsh, the ref, did not call it, but he was trying to draw a foul. And Jordan Walsh steals the ball from Coleman Hawkins, and he's driving the ball down the floor, and he hits a tough layup. It almost went in, but Devontae Davis with the tap back. Devontae Davis up to 13 points now, 47-36, 13:45 to go in the second half. And suddenly it's back up to 11, the lead for Arkansas. Illinois is going to have to find some more offense. Dane Danger's on the right block. They do call a foul on Jordan Walsh for Arkansas. He does not like the foul call. Easy Money saying I'm seeing it before it. I'm not saying that. You're always ahead of me, man. Oh, man. But at least I get to see it. It'd be worse if I couldn't see it for some reason. My screen was black or the internet died or something, but at least I'm able to watch the game. You got me beat, but I'll get to it eventually. But Arkansas 47-36, 13:34 to go in the second half. Jeff says, great show. Keep it up. I really like the comments. Thanks a lot, man. Thank you so much for being here. Know a lot of people probably busy, got a lot of stuff going on. But some people, you know, they try to find a way to take off so they can watch March Madness. Some people can't, but some people trying to watch while they're at work. So just glad all you guys are here for sure. Thank you. Terrence Shannon, he misses a 3 in the corner. Easy Money says it's all good. Arkansas with the 11-point lead. Nick Smith with the ball. Nick Smith's been quiet in this game, but he takes a 2, and he gets fouled by Ty Rodgers. Ty Rodgers saying he went straight up. It does look like maybe he got a little bit of arm. Showing the replay. Yeah, he got his hand. That's a foul. Teddy Boy says, I'm on spring break right there. That is awesome. Spring break, I mean, whatever works. However you get to be off and watch the game. Easy Money says, smartphones and data sneak a peek anywhere. For sure. That's the thing. A lot of people are at work and they're finding a way to watch. That's so cool. Like back in the past, you couldn't do that. If you were at work, you just could not watch the games. And that was so unfortunate. But now, so many people just find ways to watch no matter what. You got YouTube. You've got just checking up with the score, streaming devices, with streaming services on your streaming device. It's just amazing how many ways you can watch stuff. But definitely don't want to miss this action for sure. Arizona only up 3 on Princeton with 5:10 to go in the second, 53-50. Arizona not looking like a Final Four team right now. But Terrence Shannon, he misses a layup. That's a big miss. And they call it off of Illinois, off Ty Rogers. So Arkansas basketball, they're up 49-36 with 12:55 to go in the second. If Arkansas just keeps playing solid basketball, doesn't turn the ball over, makes free throws when they get fouled, and keep hitting timely buckets, Arkansas is in great shape in this game. Devontae Davis with the ball at the top of the key. Arkansas is probably going to start using more shot clock since they got the big lead advantage. Makai Mitchell on the block. He spins by Coleman Hawkins, and he knocks in a layup, 51-36. Easy Money says, hey, Jeff, roll tide roll. Got to win the first one to win them all. We did that. Roll tide roll. For sure, Alabama, I mean, big win over Texas A&M Corpus Christi was expected, but again, you have to do it. You don't want to give any cause for concern that you will lose. Easy Money says Arkansas playing good, they'll win. It's definitely looking like that. I mean, Arkansas is a really talented team. I mean, this was a game between two teams that have a lot of talent, possibly going to be able to be in the NBA. But I definitely think this game is showing that Arkansas has more talent overall, and talent's playing better. So I think as long as Arkansas just continues to play the way they're playing, they will definitely win this game. But Arizona's still only up by 3 on Princeton, 55-52, 4:28 to go in the second. That could be an upset alert game. I'm sure a lot of brackets will be busted if Arizona loses because probably hardly anybody picked Princeton. Jeff says, go Bama. Well, the Alabama logo definitely gives it away, but man, the roll tide roll, Crimson Tide look really good today. They've been playing great basketball down the stretch of the season, so. Easy Money again, roll tide roll. I think for sure, looking at Alabama, they've been bad in basketball for a while, and to see them really good in basketball goes to show that you don't have to be only a football school or a basketball school, depending on, both, whatever school is better at what, whether it's basketball or football. You can be good at both. Alabama's showing that. They're a really good football school, and now they're playing really good in basketball. So I think more schools need to invest in both sports and make it a priority to be good in both because it is possible. Teddy Boy says, let's go Princeton. People love upsets. I mean, you cannot beat upsets. But it will be a tough loss for the Arizona fans if they lose. Because I know when Arizona beat UCLA in the Pac-12 championship game, there were a lot of Arizona fans that were saying Final Four national championship game. So it will be interesting to see if they do hold on, how their thoughts are of the performance and whether they still think they can go that far. I mean, sometimes when you root for your favorite team, you're going to believe they're going to go to the Final Four of the national championship game until they lose no matter what. But this is definitely an alarming performance for Arizona. It's just not an inspiring performance. But I think in this game here, looking at Arkansas, they could be a really dangerous team. I know they're going to have to go up against a 1 seed in their next game if they do beat Illinois, but still, I think Arkansas is capable of pulling off an upset. They're playing really good basketball right now. They just put on TV, it says, ask Siri if your bracket's busted. Again, if Arizona loses, almost everyone's bracket will be busted. But we have a 51-36 game. Arkansas over Illinois. And Illinois is 4 of 15 from 3. Arkansas is only 2 for 7. But Arkansas is getting in the paint, hitting free throws. Easy Money says, Arizona, you answered my question, Jerry. About to say they won the pack, didn't they? For sure. I mean, UCLA was so close. They had a shot to win at the end, but they didn't get it done. And Matthew Mayer with another miss, and Arkansas moving the ball down the floor. Thanks for being here, Purple Haze. He says Illinois is trash. No way they can score and come back. They're awful. They're not playing very well right now. That was a good block by Coleman Hawkins. And they do call it off of Arkansas, so Illinois basketball. I mean, I don't think Illinois is necessarily trash. I mean, obviously, they're not playing that well. I think they're a good team, and they had a lot of good moments in the Big Ten. But their issue is that they're inconsistent. That's their problem. They're just an inconsistent team. The Big Ten overall has a lot of inconsistent teams. A lot of people are questioning Indiana because they're inconsistent. After they beat Purdue, they split their last 4 games. They went 2-2. They didn't build on that and go 4-0 or go all the way to meet Purdue in the Big Ten championship game. And a lot of people were questioning Indiana, but Illinois is the same problem. They were very inconsistent all season long. I think that's why a lot of people were buying Arizona hype, because they, even though they were inconsistent earlier on in the year, they started to play really good basketball down the stretch of the season. But again, this performance against Princeton is not aspiring, and they're only up by 1 now. Easy Money said, I agree, Purple. They're not looking too good, or at least Arkansas playing much better. I'm serious. We could have an upset on our hands here. Arizona only up by 1 point. That would be a massive upset. Arizona with a 55-54 lead over Princeton. There's 3 to go in the game. Princeton does miss a 3, though. I got it over on Arizona-Princeton for a minute. I'll go back to Arkansas-Illinois. But Arizona only up by 1 point with 2:50 to go. Arizona misses a 3. Princeton with the board. Teddy Boy says, go Princeton. And he also says, let the madness begin. The madness has already begun, but this would definitely magnify it. Princeton shoots a 3. They miss another 3. They've had 2 good looks from 3, and they missed both. Arizona looks rattled. They just called a timeout. They definitely look rattled right now. I mean, Arizona has so much talent. I mean, yes, Princeton. I mean, they're from the Ivy League. The players are really smart, for sure. But still, it's Arizona. You've got Azuolas Tubelis, Umar Ballo, all these good players. Courtney Ramey, Kirk Kriisa. Easy Money said that would eliminate Arizona out of my Crimson Tide bracket. I doubt anyone else can challenge us. That would definitely help out Alabama for sure. Because of the fact, to your point, that would take them out of the bracket and they wouldn't have to play them later on down the road. So probably you're rooting for sure for a Princeton upset. Teddy Boy says Kansas will blow out Arkansas. Well, I mean, you never know. Upsets are possible. Carolina beat Baylor last year. But I do agree with you. If Kansas plays their high-level game, and Arkansas, while they've been solid today, they still haven't played elite basketball. So it will be tough for them to beat Kansas. Coleman Hawkins shoots a 3. He misses for Illinois. Ty Rogers with the 2. So Illinois does cut it back to 13. But they're going to need a lot more buckets like that if they're going to get back in this game. Illinois only having 38 points is kind of surprising at this point in the game with only 11 minutes to go in the second half. Illinois is a team that averages over 70 points a game. They're going to really struggle to even get to that point. Back over on the Arizona-Princeton game, Arizona turned the basketball over, and Princeton has the ball with another chance to take the lead. And Princeton does take the lead. It's 56-55 Princeton, 1:55 to go in the game. This is insane. Pell Larson kicks it out. Cedric Henderson. Courtney Ramey with the ball. He's driving in. And he misses another shot. Princeton had a chance with the rebound, but they do call a tie-up. Easy Money says, yeah, but my Crimson Tide will beat Zona as well. At Princeton would be easier. Look out, Princeton up 1. Teddy Boy's like, yes. And Mateo Games says, Arizona will win it all. Well, they got to get by this game. Thanks for being here, Mateo Gaming, but they got to get by Princeton. Easy Money says, laughing out loud, better late than never. Jared, laughing out loud, kidding. Oh, man. Princeton with a 1-point lead over Arizona with 1:37 to go. They got the guy sweeping off the sweat off the floor. I'm sure both Arizona and Princeton are sweating hard. This is a high-level game, a 1-point game. The anxiety is at an all-time high. Kirk Crease in the corner. And Arizona turns the basketball over. Mateo said, bro, I picked Arizona to win it all. Well, that's not looking good right now. Princeton with a 1-point lead. 1:20 to go. This will be an upset for the ages. I remember when Arizona lost to Buffalo a few years ago as well. So Arizona's been upset too in the past, just like Virginia. 56-55. Teddy Boy says, bad pick to Mateo. 55 seconds left. It's 56-55. Princeton. Princeton with a big block on Arizona. 50 seconds left. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. This is insane. Princeton with a huge block. Easy Money says, Mateo not looking good. That wouldn't happen anyway because my Crimson Tide is winning the chip. Mateo says, I got Bama in my second bracket. Well, maybe that bracket will make it. I mean, Princeton, again, is a team, from the Ivy League. They have smart players, very high IQ players. And Ivy League teams in the past have given teams fits. So, I mean, it's not the most surprising thing in the world that Princeton is, giving a team a potential upset alert. But the fact that it's Arizona, even though Arizona has been upset in the past by Buffalo, Arizona was a team that a lot of people thought could win it all or go far. Whether that was just fandom or whether it was because of the fact, again, I mean, I'm not, I wouldn't rule out that Arizona could go that far because of the fact, or I wouldn't have ruled that out because I think they have a lot of talent. I don't know if I would have picked them to go to the Final Four, maybe the Elite Eight or the Sweet 16, but the way they're playing in this game, if they can just survive, it will be interesting to see how Arizona responds if they do pull out this win. Sometimes when you barely win, that can fuel you to go far. But they might not win this game at all. Princeton with a 56-55 lead over Arizona. 50 seconds left. 8 seconds on the shot clock for Arizona. If Arizona misses here, they could really lose this game. Teddy Boy says, wow, Tuesday losing on the first day. It hasn't happened yet, but it definitely could. Easy Money says, Arizona fan looks like he's about to cry in the stand. I'd hate to be watching that too if it was my team laughing out loud. That'd be terrible. Azulis Tabelis, he misses a 2. Princeton with the rebound. 56-55 Princeton. There's 40 seconds left in the game. There's going to be 2 possessions left. One for Princeton, one for Arizona. If Princeton scores, especially at 3, it could be over. Princeton backing down. Princeton down low. They miss a shot, but there's a foul. Jackson says, oh, man, Princeton up by 1 against Arizona with 56 seconds left. Well, now there's only 21 seconds left. And Princeton's still up 1. Washington win barely. They win their next game by 20. I think that's possible. I completely agree. If Arizona can somehow survive this game, then I think they could win their next game by a lot. But this is insane. Arizona down by 1 point. Caden Pierce at the line for Princeton. And he hits the first, a 64% free throw shooter. He knocks down the free throw. It's 57-55. Easy Money says, wait for it, wait for it. Yep, Jeffrey, you got it. Laughing out. Yeah, I'm so behind. Princeton with another free throw. 58-55 Princeton. 20 seconds left. Arizona, no timeouts. They have to hit a shot. They're dribbling around. Courtney Ramey for three. He misses. Umar Ballo throws it out. Kirk Creesa for three. Kirk Creesa misses. Princeton's going to win this game, it looks like. 3 seconds left, and they're up 3. Teddy Boy said, we just found our Cinderella team, Princeton. This is insane. And Arizona fans, this is unbelievable. Princeton, if they hit one free throw, this game is over. Arizona, the 2 seed, going to lose to Princeton, the 15 seed. March Madness is here. It definitely overshadows Furman, Virginia. This is a way bigger upset. Jackson said Princeton is officially a Cinderella team. This is insane. Kirk Creesa could not knock the 3 down. Princeton with the basketball, going to the foul line, 3 seconds left. And all he's got to do is hit one free throw. 65% free throw shooter at the line for Princeton. He makes the free throw. It hit the back iron and it went in. It's over. Princeton is up 4. 3 seconds left. This is insane. Jackson says 59-55 Princeton. Arizona, the players are starting to get sad. It's awful for Arizona. This is a major upset. But they did not play well. Their offense did not come to life in this game. Princeton misses the second free throw, and Arizona throws up a 3, misses it. It's 59-55. Troy V, thanks for being here. He says Princeton gets the upset, and in a few years, these kids will be our defense lawyers in court laughing out loud. Man, Teddy Boy says it's March Madness, baby, for sure. I cannot believe this. Arizona goes down. Teddy Boy says 90% of the country just had their bracket busted. That's why it's so hard to predict the bracket. Easy Money says 2 seed out 59-55. I waited laughing out loud. Jackson says the fairy godmother decided to use the magic wand to go peppity boppity boo on Princeton. Well, it worked because they got the huge win. A win for the ages. Easy Money said that's real March Madness for sure. I mean, this is insane. Arizona, again, I didn't know if they could go as far as people were saying, but I don't think many people thought they'd lose to Princeton. Teddy Boy says, where did Mateo go? He's probably not too happy. That is unbelievable. The Princeton fans are so happy. In Arizona, it is awful to see the Arizona fans and players. But that's what March Madness is all about. You win or go home. Every team has the same amount of chances. Inside the Pylon says, update, Princeton 59-55. That's crazy. And Jackson says, now we have Princeton versus Missouri on Saturday. And again, that could give Missouri a really good chance to win and go to the Sweet 16, or it could give Princeton a good chance because Missouri's possibly beatable. Troy V says, Mateo's fishing his remote out of the wall. Oh, man. Inside the Pylon says, one of my brackets are busted. Well, most people's brackets are busted for sure. That's insane. Well, Arkansas is up on Illinois, 57-48, but Illinois is starting to come back a bit. 7 minutes to go in the game, and Illinois is on a run, a 10-2 run to be exact. Anthony Black's driving, and he knocks down a floater. He was looking for a foul, but he did not get the foul call, but it's 59-48. 7 minutes to go in the second. Dane Danger, he hits the layup, and he was looking for a foul. So it's 59-50. The offense is starting to come to life, but Illinois is going to have to get stops if they want to have a chance. 6:35 to go in the second. But, man, we just witnessed a big major upset with Princeton beating Arizona. That's insane. Anthony Black, he misses a 2. Illinois with the rebound. Down 9, 6:20 to go. Sincere Harris driving the basketball. He misses a layup. And Arkansas with the rebound. Devontae Davis, he's driving in. Wisely kicks it back out. Under 6 to go. 59-50 Arkansas. Easy Money says, yeah, that busted a lot of brackets. Wonder if Princeton will pull an Oral Roberts 21. You never know. Devontae Davis for Arkansas. He hits a big three in the corner. 62-50. 5:40 to go in the second. I'm not saying that's an early dagger shot, but Illinois is running out of time. They're down 12, 5:30 to go in the second. That was a big shot from Devontae Davis. He's having a big game. Sincere Harris to Dane Danger. Dane Danger turns the ball over. Arkansas rebound. The Razorbacks are back up by 12 with 5 to go in the second. $5:10 to go in the second half. Arkansas up 62-50. Anthony Black dribbling out the shot clock. Wanting to take as much time off as he can. But he dribbled it too much, and Illinois does turn him over, but still burning a lot of clock. R.J. Melendez passes to Dane Danger, and he gets fouled. So Dane Danger will be at the free throw line. But he does struggle at the line, though. Easy Money said they will only go as far as Bama lets them know that they might Cinderella for another game or two. Yeah, Easy Money is really confident in the Crimson Tide now that they can go to at least the Elite Eight or the Final Four. But I think Arizona going down does help, even though Arizona did show that maybe they just weren't the team a lot of people thought they were. They did struggle, though. That's one thing with Arizona. They did struggle mightily against smaller teams in the Pac-12. They had a lot of bad losses like to Stanford and Oregon and Utah and Washington State. They were a team that really struggled against teams they should have beaten and played a lot better against the better teams. So I think I remember saying probably about a month ago, if Arizona gets matched up against the small team, it's conference team at like a 15 or a 14 seed, then I felt that there was a possibility that they could get upset because of the fact they always play poorly against better teams. I wasn't 100% sure it would happen, but still, it just goes to show that Arizona had a problem with playing teams that were way worse than them for whatever reason. It's crazy. Arizona played much better against bigger teams. Teddy Boy said, wouldn't it be something if Princeton beat Alabama? It definitely would. Easy Money says, I'm confident in my Crimson Tide for sure. I can definitely tell. I mean, you should be. They're having one of the best seasons they've had in a long time. And now the biggest supposed challenge to them in the bracket is gone down, so it definitely helps them out. Easy Money said, Teddy not. More likely, I mean, if Princeton had to play Alabama, you'd think Alabama would not pull in Arizona. You would think. You got to play well every game. You cannot overlook any opponent. Troy V says, been watching, hoping here Jeffrey give us a boom. Goes the dynamite in his play-by-play, laughing out loud. Well, there's been a lot of booms for sure, I will say. Princeton beating Arizona was a big boom. There's been a lot of big shots. When Devontae Davis, that was a boom for sure. That was a big three. Jordan Walsh has had a pretty solid overall game for Arkansas, but the Razorbacks up by 10. Nick Smith driving in. Kicks it to Devontae Davis for three, and he misses a deep one. Teddy Boy says, boom, and down goes Arizona. Terrence Shannon misses a layup, but they do call a foul. So Illinois with a chance to cut it to under 10. But there's only 4:15 to go in the second. Easy Money says, yep, Bama's had good teams, but not quite as good and better chemistry with this one. Great bench play, too, when clicking. That's the key for Alabama as well, the depth. You look at a lot of teams that have a lot of depth where a lot of bench players are contributing. That definitely helps. I know a lot of people say the starting five matters the most, but when you can get a guy off the bench, like Remy Martin last year for Kansas, that helped them win the national championship. Baller Hype says, my bracket looks like a 3-year-old's drawing if his favorite color was red. Well, definitely a lot of people are switching their favorites from Arizona to Alabama to win the whole thing. So a lot of people are on Kansas still. So it will definitely be interesting to see who advances far. Terrence Shannon, he splits the free throws. So it's 62-53. Arkansas 4:10 to go in the second. Arkansas is 13 of 19 at the line. Illinois is 13 of 18. Both teams shot a good amount of free throws and hit the majority of them. But Arkansas shot the ball better from the field than Illinois. Easy Money says, anyway, Jeffrey, I got to go. I've ran my battery down again later. Everyone, roll tide, roll. Thanks for being here, Easy Money. I'll probably be live streaming again tonight for the late games. But thanks for being here. Hope to see you tonight if you can. But thanks for being here, man. Laughing Out Loud Baller later, y'all. You're awesome, Easy Money. We've had some awesome games as well. Arkansas with a 9-point lead. 3:37 to go in the second. Teddy Boy said, I'll be back in an hour. See you later, Teddy Boy. Thanks for being here. Jeff says, can't believe Arizona lost. Yeah, I can't believe it either. I mean, again, I'm not actually the most surprised because I was concerned with Arizona's level of play against teams that were worse than them. But I will say that I still wasn't expecting that, though. I thought they would get by Princeton. Easy Money says, thanks, and I'll charge my phone. See you tonight. Sounds great, Easy Money. March Madness is definitely upon us, though. I mean, it is just so awesome to watch all these games, see all these results, especially the ones that aren't, expected. And we've already had 2 big upsets in Virginia Furman, Princeton-Arizona. It will be interesting to see if we get any more upsets later on today or tomorrow. So many more games. I'm sure the upsets will be happening. Maybe a couple more. I mean, it's so tough when you're in March Madness because it's win or go home. If you have one bad game, it's all over. You have to play well every single game if you want to win the whole thing. Jeff says they choke a lot, unfortunately, to small teams. Exactly. That's Arizona's issue. They played great basketball against some great teams this year. But then they had a lot of performances against teams that they should have beaten by 20, 25 points, and they lose. And that was just always alarming to me. Baller Life says, my mom, who hasn't watched a game of NCAA men's basketball all year, is in first in my bracket pool. That's not surprising. Sometimes it's that instinct. You might not actually watch the games or, really know, but you got that instinct and you get the games right. That's amazing. But does Illinois have a little bit left in them? Illinois, they're down by 9 with 3:37 to go. They're about out of time. But if they can get one more big run in them late, maybe they can find a way to cut the lead. But Arkansas has consistently had an 8-point or bigger lead on Illinois. They have not allowed Illinois to get back in the game. Arkansas has done a really good job of all the runs that Illinois has had. They stop the runs. They either get a big dunk or they get to the foul line or hit a big shot or they turn Illinois over. Arkansas has been great in transition in this game. They've gotten a lot of steals, been going down the floor and getting some layups. They have a 9-point lead with 3:37 left in the second. Power Life says, but luckily my dad picked Arizona to win it all, so I got a chance. That's definitely going to move you down. Sincere Harris at the free throw line for Illinois. He only has 2 points today, shooting really poorly at the line, and he misses the first. Baller Life says, last year I picked Kentucky, so I feel his pain. Yeah, that was definitely a bad performance against St. Peter's. Sincere Harris misses both free throws. He's not shooting the ball well at the line, and it definitely shows. Those are big misses for Illinois. It could have cut the lead to 7. 62-53 Arkansas, 3 minutes to go in the second. Devontae Davis at the top of the key. And a turnover. Ricky Council fumbled the ball. Illinois got the ball back. Coleman Hawkins with the ball at the top of the key. Tried to get it to Terrence Shannon, but they denied it. Now Sincere Harris with the ball. Coleman Hawkins is driving on Makai Mitchell. And a turnover for Illinois. That has been their big problem in this game. They've been turning the basketball over. Ricky Council misses another dunk. He missed one in the first half. Terrence Shannon's driving in. And he gets fouled. Troy V said, I wish I had your mom's luck. I've not watched the game all year also and only have 3 wins so far, laughing out loud. I guess it didn't rub off on you at all, man. Sorry about that. But at least you got 3 wins, though. Sometimes you just get lucky, man. You don't even have to watch any of the games, and you just get a lot of them right, but it's crazy. But it's what makes it so fun. Jeff says, yeah, Kentucky had a great team and played bad. Kentucky had a great team last year. Their guard play was inconsistent. And St. Peter's, their guards just played so well in the tournament for those few games. I think this year Kentucky's weakness is guard play again. But I do think Kentucky has a really good chance to beat Providence, but still the guard play is going to be a key factor. But Illinois, Terrence Shannon at the line. He's hit the first. And he hit the second. Illinois has cut it to 7 with 2:36 to go. So it's not mathematically impossible for Illinois to come back. Illinois with a steal. And Illinois with the dunk. They've cut it to 5. Arkansas might need a timeout. Thanks for being here, Dave Valensky. Says, never underestimate the Ivy League. Way to go, Princeton. For sure. The Ivy League has had some really big upsets throughout the years. They have some solid teams. But thanks, everyone, for being here. Like the stream down below. If you haven't liked the stream yet, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. But thanks for being here. We're about to be wrapping up soon. But we might have a good finish to this Arkansas-Illinois game. Arkansas, their lead is down to 5. Illinois is definitely cutting the lead. Baller Life, he says, obviously, I'm a little sad about my absolute trash bracket, but March Madness is so fun, I don't really care. For sure. The pain might be there, but still, it's so fun. It doesn't really matter too much. Just the games themselves are great to watch. And you guys make it awesome being here. Thank you guys so much. But Illinois, they've been down all game long, and they've made a big run. And after that dunk, teams got into it a little bit. Which that's March Madness for you. 2 teams been playing very physical. Illinois is coming back. Baller Life said, what's the biggest upset in your bracket? Well, I didn't really do a bracket, actually, which isn't crazy. But I didn't actually really do one. But I will say, though, that I would have picked Arizona to beat Princeton. So that would have been it. I did lean Furman over Virginia. I felt that one. I would have picked Furman. But still, I mean, even though I kind of felt there was a chance Arizona would go down, I wouldn't have picked it. I mean, it's one of those things where you kind of have that gut feeling, but you're like, oh, Arizona, they've played bad against some smaller teams this year, but they'll get the win. But it didn't happen. But Arkansas with the basketball, 62-57, 2:29 to go in the second half. Arkansas has not scored in 3 minutes and 17 seconds. And Eric Musselman had to call a timeout because his team's getting a little rattled. They almost turned it over again. They're running out of time to get it across half court, but they do get it across half court. Jeff says everyone would have picked Arizona. Definitely most people. Edward said today was the definition of March Madness. Thanks for being here, Edward, but for sure you had Furman, you had Princeton, and there probably will be more. Dave Valensky said Virginia has to be the biggest choke team in the history of the NCAA tournament. Well, again, they've had a lot of bad losses. That's definitely hurt them, but at least they did win a title. That's the only thing saving Tony Bennett right now is at least he won a title. But, yes, they've had a lot of bad losses. Illinois trying to scrap for the ball, and they call a foul on Luke Goody. That's his 3rd foul. Baller Life says the game I'm really excited about is number 5 Duke versus number 12 Oral Roberts. That should be a fantastic game. I'm looking forward to watching that one. I won't be live for it, unfortunately, but it should be a great game. Arkansas with a 5-point lead, 2 minutes to go. Devontae Davis taking a tough two in the corner. He misses. Troy V says, I got Vermont over Marquette. Not a good sign with one number 15 winning already, though. Yeah, it's tougher to get multiple, but you never know, though. Illinois driving the ball down the floor, and Arkansas with the steal. And finally, with a tough finish for Ricky Council to break the drought of Arkansas not scoring, he hits a big layup, 64-57 Arkansas, 1:30 to go in the game. Ricky Council with 12 points. He's had a rough night, but what a big layup. Luke Goody for 3 for Illinois, and it gets blocked. Arkansas with the rebound, and Illinois fouls. Arkansas might pull this one out. What a big layup by Ricky Council. He was trying to look like he was going to dunk it, but then he had to change it in midair to a layup. But that was a huge block from Anthony Black. That's what helps being 6'7". So tall and athletic, and he got his hand on the ball from Luke Goody. And Ricky Council's at the line for 2 free throws. He's shooting 77% at the line this year, and he's 5 of 6 today. He hits the first. So it's 65-57, minute 18 to go. And Ricky Council will have one more free throw to potentially get this back up to a 9-point lead for Arkansas. Could be insurmountable. And he hits the second, so it's 66-57. Illinois down 9. They're going to need to start hitting some threes. Dave Valensky said, are you doing any more games? Yeah, I'm probably going to do the games tonight. I'll probably do Penn State, Texas A&M, and watch some of the other late games. Unfortunately, won't be doing the 7 o'clock games, but I will be doing the late games, so hopefully you can stop on by later if you can. Thanks for being here, though, anyway. You guys are all awesome for sure. Some people are going live all day, which is incredibly insane, but it's definitely hard to do that. But you guys make it worth going live. Thank you guys so much. Baller Life says, my dad didn't know about his champ being upset. I just told him, he started crying. Yeah, that is tough. That is so tough. Edward said, I called Furman winning. I got Duke winning versus Oral Roberts. Inside the Pylon says he's doing Oral Roberts Duke. That should be a great game. Inside the Pylon says Danny's going live for 10 hours. That's insane. He's doing a great job. But it's so hard to go that long. But Arkansas with a 66-57 lead over Illinois, 1:13 to go. Illinois has to find a way to get some shots going. 66-57 Arkansas, 1:13 to go. Illinois struggling to get the ball in bounds. They barely did before the 5-second rule. And Ty Rogers with a dunk for Illinois. They cut it to 7. 66-59. 1 minute to go. Arkansas inbounds the ball. Illinois probably has to foul. And they do foul. They call a block on R.J. Melendez. So Illinois still in the bonus. So it's going to be a 1-1 for Arkansas. That was a really good pass from R.J. Melendez down to Ty Rogers. But you see R.J. Melendez, he thought it should have been a charge. Technically, he was straight up, but unfortunately, when it's in the backcourt, the refs don't usually call offensive fouls. Edwards says, Miami and Indiana back-to-back tomorrow. Those are the best games tomorrow. I think that Indiana and Kent State and Miami Drake are both fantastic games as well. Those could potentially be upsets. Indiana's going to have to play really well, get a lot of contributions from other players, not named Trace Jackson Davis and Jalen Hood-Schifino if they want to win. In Miami, they're going to have to get great guard play. And as you pointed out, Edward, in the past, North Chadomir cannot get in foul trouble. So Arkansas up 9, 45 seconds left in the second. And Terrence Shannon with a 2. That's definitely what Arkansas wants to give up, a quick 2. But it's 68-61 Arkansas with 45 seconds left. It's been a high-level game, but I do think if Illinois had have not turned the ball over as much, I think they had a shot to win this one. They missed a lot of open threes as well, which was really tough, but they turned the ball over a lot in this game, especially in the first half. They had 11 turnovers at one point to Arkansas's 8. They've just been really sloppy. They missed a lot of open threes. Matthew Mayer did not have a good game. Matthew Mayer, if he had scored a lot of points in this one, I think there's a really good chance that Illinois could have gotten this win because of the fact they got contributions, especially in the second half from Terrence Shannon. Coleman Hawkins hit a couple big shots, but Matthew Mayer just could not get going in this game at all. And Arkansas just got enough contributions out of Ricky Council and Anthony Black, the Mitchell brothers. Nick Smith, he struggled in this game, but he still scored a few times. But overall, Arkansas just had too much. And they hit a few more free throws than Illinois did. But regardless, it's been a high-level game, and at least Illinois is not going to get blown out. They fought back in this game and have made it interesting. So at least it won't be an embarrassing loss per se. It's an 8-9 game. Illinois did play hard. But Anthony Black to inbound for the Razorbacks. Arkansas at 1 point led by 17, and they only have a 7-point lead right now. There's 45 seconds left. Arkansas inbounds the ball. Anthony Black throws it across half court, and it's almost a turnover, but Jordan Walsh does get the ball. And Illinois foul, so Jordan Walsh will be going to the free throw line. It was almost a turnover, a hectic play, but Arkansas saved it, and Jordan Walsh got the basketball, and Illinois had to foul him. So there's 36 seconds left. Jordan Walsh has had a really underrated game. He has not scored much, but he's been really good on the defensive side of the ball. Getting a lot of steals, and he gets a big play there keeping the ball. And Luke Goody has 4 fouls. If Anthony Black hits, more shots in this game, then Arkansas could have probably blown this one open because Anthony Black had a lot of open shots that he missed, but he still had a really good game as well. But he almost turned it over there, so you can definitely tell his rookie mistakes at times, but he definitely looks like a top 10 pick. But Anthony Black's level of play is definitely a reason why Arkansas has the lead, but it's also a reason why Arkansas is only up by 8 because he has been very inconsistent in this game. But if Kansas is going to, potentially lose to Arkansas, Anthony Black has to play an elite game. But he has been solid, but he has been inconsistent. But Anthony Black is still a really good freshman. And I think that Anthony Black definitely deserves to be a top 15 pick, even though a lot of people don't think that he's a good enough offensive player to be a top 15 pick. But he is a tall player, and he has a lot of potential. So I like Anthony Black as a player. I think Nick Smith as well. He has not had a great offensive game, but Nick Smith is a guy that has a lot of talent, you can tell. And Jordan Walsh, he's not a great offensive player at all, but he just hit 2 big free throws for Arkansas. So you can just definitely tell that Arkansas has so much talent. Their talent's better than Illinois', and it showed up today. Dave Valensky says number 13 from Arkansas looks like the guy in a Heavy Metal movie. That's funny. But Arkansas is Makai Mitchell in the game. The Mitchell brothers are an underrated part of this team. Makai Mitchell, Mikel Mitchell, both transfers from Rhode Island. They both had solid games, getting rebounds, hitting timely shots, and Makai Mitchell hits the first. But number 13, as you mentioned, the guy from the Heavy Metal movie, that's Jordan Walsh, and he's been a really solid player in this game for Arkansas. He's done a lot of timely things, getting rebounds, getting steals, playing tough defense, and always being right where Arkansas needs him to be to prevent a turnover. And Illinois just turned it over, so Arkansas gets the ball back. But I think if you didn't have Anthony Black and you didn't have Nick Smith on this Arkansas team, they definitely would not be as good of a team. They're great guards, and it goes to show that Arkansas was not as good of a team when Nick Smith was injured. But the way he's playing right now that he's back healthy, maybe not in this game, but in some of the games that he had to end the regular season in the SEC, Arkansas is a really dangerous team and has a good chance to maybe give Kansas a scare. Dave Valensky says Musselman's dad used to coach the University of Minnesota back in the 70s. That's really cool. Eric Musselman's a great coach. I mean, he had success at Nevada, which has led to this Arkansas job. He had a couple of NBA head coaching jobs back in the 2000s. So he's been a head coach for a long time. He's had a lot of success. But it looks like he's going to lead Arkansas with his talented crew of the Mitchell brothers, Anthony Black, Nick Smith, Devontae Davis as well. He's played well in this game. It looks like the Razorbacks are going to get the victory. They definitely played some high-level basketball in this game. It's really sad to see the Illinois players and fans. They can tell they're going to lose. They have 17 turnovers in this game. That is way too many if you want to get a win like this. Arkansas has 11 turnovers themselves, but Illinois has 17 turnovers. That's a lot of turnovers. But Arkansas up 9 with 12 seconds to go. And Ricky Council, he hits the first. 10-point lead for Arkansas. Ricky Council's such an unsung hero for Arkansas because he's an older guy, transfer from Wichita State, not getting top NBA draft attention like Anthony Black and Nick Smith. But Ricky Council really is the heartbeat for Arkansas. He does so much for their offense, especially when they had so many injuries earlier on in the season. Ricky Council really carried this team, but now he's not having to do as much now that Nick Smith is back and Anthony Black's playing better and better. Overall, Arkansas is a deep team, a long team, an athletic team, and it showed up today. But Arkansas just fouled Terrence Shannon. He'll be going to the line for 2 free throws, but it definitely is too little too late. Arkansas with a 73-62 lead with 7 seconds left, and Shannon hits the first free throw. But definitely a spirited effort from Illinois. They tried really hard in this game. Terrence Shannon at the line for the second free throw. He misses. So it's 73-63. Illinois is giving up. They're not fouling. And the game is over. 73-63 final. Arkansas will move on to play the Kansas Jayhawks. And that should be a really good game. Really high-level game between these two teams. I thought Illinois played well. They gave it everything they had. Terrence Shannon tried, but they just could not get enough contributions out of Matthew Mayer. Coleman Hawkins played solid as well, but it just wasn't enough. Jeff says, great stream. See you tonight. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys all for being here. You guys made this stream awesome, but Arkansas with the 73-63 win over Illinois. Big win for the Razorbacks. Been a lot of upsets so far with Furman beating Virginia and Princeton beating Arizona. But March Madness should be a lot of fun. It's just getting started. Good live. Thanks for being here, Troy V. You guys made this stream great. But I will see you guys tonight. But thanks for being here, everybody. Like the stream down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We had a great stream here. Arkansas beating Illinois 73-63, but it was a great game overall. We also got to see the big upset with Princeton over Arizona. But thanks for being here, everybody, and I'll see you guys tonight. March Madness here. Thanks.